What's up, Lorehorse? Welcome back to another episode of the Lorem Pod. I'm Lex, and with me as always is Doom Corleone behind the computer, and Henry Too Many Cooks Castle. Today, we're going to begin with talking about Avengers Doomsday. So, Doom, why don't you start us off?
It is finally here. We've been waiting over 2 years for this film, and we finally, in July, finally got a trailer, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Fellas, how excited
July?
were we for this
July,
trailer?
bro. July. We finally got that trailer.
Finally got the damn trailer.
We did.
We did. Mr. Henry, can you please start us off with that Avengers Doomsday trailer?
Of course, of course. So, we've been calling for this trailer for about like 5 months at this point, and finally, in July, we did get it. So, thank God. Thank you, Russo brothers, for finally caving in and giving us something that we wanted to see. For this trailer, they do give us a bit of insight about some of the team ups and fights that we're gonna see, and I'm all excited for it. And I'm also scared, of course, because we see some beloved characters we grew up with fighting some new characters that we've grown fond of. Lots to see with this. Of course, the main thing happening in the beginning of the trailer that they show us with Charles looking out the window, we see the incursions happening. We also see a couple of fights here and there. We have one with Shang-Chi with Gambit. They're doing a pretty solid square off right there. They also see what seems to be Black Widow going off against Mystique when she appears as her own form, which is pretty cool. We also see one that really caught our eyes, and we talked about it behind the scenes, which is when Thor brings down Stormbringer on Doctor Doom himself and gets flicked away with just two fingers. Like, what the hell do you do there? We have Stormbringer, who was a big threat against Thanos, as we've seen before in Endgame and Infinity War, just being swapped away like a fly with the Doom's magic. And that's just so crazy to see. I didn't even mention this in the beginning, but we should have. We finally get to hear Doctor Doom talk, which, of course, we were going to be skeptical at first because we didn't know if Robert Downey Jr. could do like a sort of voice like that, but he did. I'm pretty happy with it so far. So that's good to hear. But just all the universes colliding, fighting for their survival of their universe to stay alive. This is gonna be a pretty intense movie, I fear. I can't wait to see it.
Hell of a first reaction. So let's hear from you now, Mr. Lex. What did you think about that trailer?
All right. Before I even get into this, because I know all you nerds out there are going to be all nitpicky and corrected, Stormbreaker is the name of the axe. I know there's different iterations in the comics, and I know you're gonna say, well, technically in the comics it has its own name, which is some, Nordic name that I'm not gonna even pronounce. But yes, Stormbreaker. So all you nerds, leave that off the comments. Don't pick on my man Henry, okay? Secondly, what a freaking trailer, you guys! Like, holy crap! I mean, at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching that trailer, it made me think of a live action Marvel Rivals. Because come on, you guys, everyone was just spamming their alts. Everyone was just going crazy. Of course, this is a trailer. We want to show the most action out of everything. But all of that alt spamming was just insane. The Gambit Shang-Chi fight, I am really excited to see. Not only because I think it'd be an interesting matchup, but Channing Tatum back as Gambit from the X-Men and Wolverine movie. And especially since this guy has been wanting to play Gambit for like ever. That is really awesome. That is amazing. And I gotta go with Henry over here. Seeing these incursions happening, seeing the real threats to all of these universes of people who either grew up with them, maybe were introduced to them later, and these current MCU characters that we are growing with, it's gonna be insane. Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? Are we going to see maybe other iterations from TV shows or from, I guess, animated properties, kind of like how in DC, when they did their Crisis on Infinite Earths with the three-parter, where we got to see the different universes of like the Teen Titans show, the Batman show, or the animated series show, or things like that. Like, I really am excited even if it's just some sort of montage sequence to see, hey, maybe we get the Earth Mightiest Heroes cartoon version of, these characters like fighting and everything. I cannot wait, but Doom, this is your thing. I want to know what you thought about that trailer.
Let me just say this first. Maybe I was being picky when I first saw the trailer, but at first I was a little picky about his voice. But I will admit to you, after having rewatched it 7 or 8 times, man, I fell in love with that voice. I've been mimicking it all week. So
Now, Henry and I are both curious about this. We want to hear your Latvian accent voice. So please, show the listeners here how you would want Downey to have done his Latvian.
well, the way I would want him to have done it, it's not necessarily how he did it, but if you're asking for me to imitate his accent, I could do that. Is that what we're asking?
Because a lot of people online have been saying that it reminds them of What We Do in the Shadows, of Nandor's voice, the main vampire of the show, the tall one.
Okay.
That he sounds like Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
Like with Guillermo, like yes, Guillermo, like yes.
That's good. I haven't heard that one.
But yeah, Doom, like just come on, like RDJ as Doom, you hear his Doom, how do you feel?
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision. It's not great,
Chills,
but
bro, chills.
you can always work on it.
yeah, I am working on it.
Of
So.
course.
But besides the voice, let me just say to everyone watching this, I'm probably the most excited guy on this table. I've been wanting to see Doom in live action going on 5 or 6 years now. And it all started really, well, it's nostalgic for me, but it really started when that first Fantastic Four movie came out. I thought Doom was for sure the centerpiece of that whole movie. Julian McMahon, awesome job as Doom. I thought the movie could have been better and it could have been a little more comic accurate, but again, that's just me being picky. But man, this movie I feel like is going to be even worse than Infinity War as far as like deaths come. I could just feel like Doom's going to go in there, steal power, and just no one's going to survive. So I can't even really talk right now because I'm that excited. I cannot wait to see Doom. I'll be the first one to tweet out my review. So, does anybody have anything else you want to talk about with the trailer?
I'm a little bit weary because we get to see Cap again, but there was a lot of discussion online on whether that's the Cap we know or if that's Captain Hydra.
Now we're getting into our first topic. Okay. So, what do you think? Is it Captain Hydra or is it our Steve Rogers?
I mean, I want to say it is Cap. I mean, I want to be hopeful here because I do give the criticism that he might have helped cause the incident of the incursions to happen because of him staying with Peggy. So I want to say that's him basically fixing his wrongs and helping out. But then there goes the thing of why is he wearing such dark clothes? Like that's not really of known that much of Cap doing. But then there's also the whole thing of him kind of being a little mysterious with his grin when he gets Mjolnir. I'm debating, I'm like, okay, if that is Captain Hydra, he could be playing the long game, which would be kind of creepy and, very problematic if that were to happen. But I want to be hopeful and say it is Cap.
Mr. Lex, was that Captain Hydra or was that our Steve Rogers?
All right, so I do want to agree with Henry over here in that I am also on board with the theory that our Captain America, if not the main cause for the incursions in our universe, was a huge part of it because of the theories that we talked about in previous episodes of him not only returning, I believe we said the Space Stone as how it should have been as the Tesseract Cube, but also staying with Peggy too. I'm all for that he was either the main reason or a big part of the reason for our universe's incursions. Everyone is saying, though, Captain Hydra, Captain Hydra, Captain Hydra. I thought about that too. I played with the idea until I recently saw a theory which kind of changed my mind, where what if that's not even any version or variant of Steve Rogers? What if that's Mystique as Steve Rogers and it's Magneto manipulating Mjolnir to Mystique's hand? Because there are some versions, and obviously the MCU is taking a lot of creative liberties with their versions of their characters, but Magneto could not wield Mjolnir per se, but magnetically manipulated, and that is Mystique and Magneto working in tandem. Because if we're saying, hey, Doom is going to have his, own accolades and followers, Magneto could be one of them. And what best way to trick the Avengers and saying, oh, hey, Mystique, turn into their captain, and I'll help you prove your validity of your character by giving you Mjolnir. I don't know if you guys have heard of that theory, but apparently that's supposed to be Mystique and Magneto working together to trick, if not just Thor, the rest of the Avengers thinking they have Captain America by their side. And I like that theory. Granted, Magneto being able to control Mjolnir, I was never a fan of that version in the comics because Mjolnir is more mystically endowed than physical property endowed. But with how MCU does their own, creative liberties, why not? How do you guys feel about that? I'm going to ask Henry first before I ask Doom.
If it is them two working together, that's going to be a hell of a job for Magneto to keep it up for Mystique, because I feel she wouldn't be able to hold the
I could keep it up for
Mjolnir.
Mystique, I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm just saying they're going to have to keep up that charade for quite a bit if she's going to be wielding that to be looking like Captain. Yes, it's possible. That's a possibility for that happening, but I don't know, because they were hinting at Captain Hydra for quite a bit, especially with Steve deceiving, all those guys in the elevator in Endgame when he says, Hell Hydra. So they're kind of teasing it, but I know that was Steve at the time, like our Steve. If it were to be Magneto and Mystique, posing as Captain America or Steve Rogers at that moment, yes, it's possible, but it'd take a lot of continuous, Magneto having to keep it within Mystique's hands in order for it to stay, keep the charade going. So that's a stretch. Yes, it's possible, but I feel it's a stretch.
What about you, Doom? How do you feel about that theory?
Well, just to answer your question first. I don't think that's what's going on. I actually think there's a darker, more sinister plot being played here. I'm willing to break that down a little bit. So I don't necessarily agree with that. It is intriguing, but I don't agree with it all the way. Let's get into the trailer a little bit. Are we in agreement that that is not our Steve Rogers, though?
That's a big what if, I guess. But I want to believe it's Cap, but I mean, it's also possible it could be, Captain Hydra as well. We won't know. So maybe see
Your best guess, though. Give me your best guess.
My best guess. Damn, I want to say it's probably Captain Hydra. I want to say, because, I mean, if they want to have, if Doctor Doom wants his plan to go into fruition, they would need to have him as a player in his team. So that's why I feel that.
And just to clarify your position one more time, Mr. Lex, do you think that's Captain Hydra?
I cannot say that's Captain Hydra. However, I would say that that is not our Steve Rogers. Not that I'm saying, oh, it's Captain Hydra or it's Mystique as, as Captain America. It could be a Captain America. I just do not believe it is our Captain America that we've been following since Captain America, the First Avenger. So whether or not it's, an evil version, a good version, or whatever, I just don't think it's our Captain America to begin with.
Okay, so now I can fully break down my answer. So, did any of you guys check out those leaks that came out? I want to say like late April around CinemaCon of those parts of the trailer supposedly that came out, but it was just like an AI version of it. Basically what the video was, it showed the battle on Battle World where you have Steve, you have Thor, you have all the X-Men, you have Namor, and then you have Doom. So like they're all fighting, and in that scene you see Steve Rogers in there. It dressed the way he's dressed in that scene where he catches Mjolnir.
Black t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah. So just if that is real, then we know for sure that is our Steve Rogers. But if we're asking my opinion on it, it is. I want to say that is Steve Rogers, but there is a good case for it to be Captain Hydra, just because it would make the story a little bit more darker. Like you're introducing, like not only is Robert Downey Jr. as Doom already confusing to to the Avengers, but now you throw in a fake Steve Rogers essentially. That's like that is a lot for a team that has two factions. So that'll be a very interesting plot to play with in Doomsday. So that one I'm pretty excited to see. Was there anything else in the trailer? Like, what do you guys think about the X-Men? It's been like 20 years since we've seen them.
I know, and I'm glad to see that they're back. I mean, especially with Cyclops, Mystique, Magneto, and Professor X. They're all, back in our arms, ready to see them perform again. And possibly it being, I believe it's Patrick Stewart's last movie, if I'm correct, because allegedly, because he said he was going to retire, or at least retire the character. So I'm assuming that's probably going to be it. Or no, you don't think so?
No, because they're recasting him. Remember?
No. Like him retiring the character of him playing as Charles.
Oh,
Yeah.
that version.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, shit. It's always great seeing him. I mean, the last time we saw him was in Multiverse of Madness, of course, but that was a variant of Charles. I always love to see them back together, especially Ian McKellen and him together playing the iconic duo. It was a little sad seeing them console each other when the incursion was going down. You've all seen that in the trailer? Yeah, I was like, oh no, something's gonna happen to them. I fear. It's good seeing them back. Obviously, they're gonna probably be the antagonist of the film, a majority of it, because they are the ones coming in to defend their universe against the incursions. So they're gonna have to fight against the current MCU's lineup, and that's gonna be hard to watch because we grew up with the X-Men back in the early 2000s and onward. You don't ever want to see the characters you grew up loving die on screen. I mean, that's gonna be a little hard to watch, but I fear that's probably what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm a little, heartbroken to hear that this might happen.
Let's get your take, Mr. Lex.
I mean, again, piggybacking off of Henry. Yeah, these are the characters we grew up with from the Fox universe. And this was the first time we've seen their live action adaptation done so well, so wonderfully. And it is gonna be unfortunate to see them as the enemies because we're so used to rooting for each team, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, etc., as the good guys. And even though we know it could either be a misunderstanding of either communication or maybe Doom doing some sort of actual magical or technical mental manipulation, just seeing them treated as the bad guys, I feel like this is a direct, I don't want to say homage, but to me, it feels like we are going to be viewing them from the same eyes as the people in the MCU. Because as we know in the comics, the mutants are hated. They are persecuted against, they face prejudice, and most, if not every regular, quote unquote, regular person in the MCU or in the Marvel comics hate the X-Men. So I feel like this is a kind of fourth wall break for us where we're going to see how the people in the Marvel universe see the X-Men as they're the enemies, they're the outcasts, they're the freaks. We need to stop them. So as much as I hate to see my heroes be beaten and downtrodden like that, it is kind of interesting that now we see them in the quote unquote light that everyone else sees them, that they're no longer just, oh yeah, it's the X-Men, my Saturday morning cartoons, go Wolverine, go Storm. Like, no, like, hey, between, I don't know, between Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or freaking, who's the character that I don't really care about in the X-Men series? Their version of Jubilee. Well, I'd rather want Spider-Man to come out on top, you know? I want to say Spider-Man and Wolverine because, that's who supposedly is going to get down, but that's a coin toss. Like, I don't want to see either of them lose to each other. But yeah, like, as much as I love the X-Men and as much as I love to see where this is going, I just don't want them to fight the other heroes, especially other heroes I prefer more over than the Fox X-Men. But hey, I mean, we have them in the MCU now. I know we're going to talk about it a little later, but with Spider-Man Brand New Day, we have the new generation of the X-Men officially in the MCU now. I can't wait. I'm excited. But for the old Fox universe X-Men that we love and we grew up with, I don't want to see them as the bad guys. I don't want them to fight my other heroes. And most importantly, I don't want them to kill or be killed by the other heroes. But we gotta wait and see what happens because, between, like I said, between Toby, Spider-Man, and most of the other X-Men, I'd rather Toby win. But we'll see. Doom, how do you feel about seeing the old Fox X-Men back?
Very excited. I've been clamoring to see Ian McKellen as Magneto again, especially after I have an actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it only makes sense to see the OG Magneto in there. It's awesome. We already got him in Deadpool and Wolverine, but just to have Hugh Jackman back, that is Wolverine. I don't care who they cast in that role after him. To me, that's my Wolverine. So very excited for that. Also, I want to give a little shout out to Professor X. I'm sorry, Patrick Stewart. There we go. I was forgetting his name for a little bit. But Patrick Stewart is an OG. My goodness. Those X-Men movies, especially the first one, is so nostalgic to me. So just having Charles back and having him in a pretty big role, not like how they treated him in Multiverse of Madness, where it was just a quick cameo. We actually get to see the real Charles. That is super cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And just one more thing. What other X-Men did we see in there? Oh, Mystique. Mystique. Yes, yes. How cool was Mystique in that trailer? Comic accurate suit and everything. My goodness, I cannot wait to see more of her. I do want to know, though, if there is a family aspect there, because I know that she is the mother of
Nightcrawler and Rogue.
Nightcrawler. Yes, there we go. So I want to see if they're going to play with that in the movie.
And Rogue, don't forget about Rogue.
And Rogue as well, yes. You know what? I want to ask you guys something.
And me. She's my mommy, too.
So we're brothers. Oh.
I always knew I was a freak.
I'm a dad.
Okay.
Papa?
Okay, I want to ask you guys something. Okay, so I want to talk about the X-Men that are not in the trailer that possibly could still be in this movie. So that could go like Storm, that could go Iceman,
Colossus, let's go.
Colossus,
Beast.
Beast.
Colossus.
Okay. All right, fine.
Unless you give me Kelsey Grammer Beast.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, cool.
Kelsey
Because
Grammer.
we still have him left off in the end of the Marvels.
Yeah, that's why.
But he's not the Fox. That's not his Fox version.
I believe he was in the Last Stand, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, right, but isn't the Beast that we saw, the Beast and what's her name?
Monica?
Binary?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Who was
Monica?
it was Binary, right? With Beast?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that's the Fox universe X-Men though. I think it's a
don't know.
different version of the X-Men.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Although
But
it
either way,
looks
if you give me
fairly similar.
What makes you think they're different though?
They never explicitly said either.
Well,
So we
because
don't
in
know.
Doomsday we're only getting 3 universes, and I assume that the universe that Monica Rambeau went to would be the same Fox universe.
The only reason why I'm assuming it's a different universe, and obviously you could easily explain that Binary was always there or they just recruited her, but because there was Binary there.
Yeah, but Kelsey Grammer is casted in the movie. It was one of the chairs that they when they did the whole cast and like it was their chairs along the
No, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that Kelsey Grammer is the Fox Kelsey Grammer or if it's the Monica Rambeau Binary universe.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but so to answer your question, I believe didn't that universe get reset in Days of Future Past? Those X-Men?
So technically,
Yes.
after Days of Future Past, the X-Men movies 1, 2, and 3 are reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that X-Men, those Fox X-Men are not going to carry over into Doomsday. We're going to get a completely new universe of X-Men. Is that what you're saying?
Well, either way, we're getting a new universe of X-Men because of Brand New Day. And so,
Yeah.
What I'm just saying is the Kelsey Grammer Beast we saw at the end of Marvels, the CGI him, I don't think that follows the Fox X-Men universe. I think it's just a different universe where they have X-Men. And kind of like Multiverse of Madness, where it's just a different universe. Like Patrick Stewart is Patrick Stewart, he's Professor X, but he's not the Fox version of Professor X. So that Kelsey Grammer is Kelsey Grammer Beast, but he's not the Fox Beast from X2 and X3.
Yeah, if you're asking me my opinion on it, I don't think that's him. I think that's a new universe.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a universe. That's why I even though it's Kelsey Grammer Beast, I want the Kelsey Grammer Beast from like 2 and 3. Especially that line of when they're all fighting at the end and like he's telling Wolverine or Wolverine telling him like, oh, something along the lines of like, oh, like Beast, like I can't believe you're fighting, you have your claws out. And he's like, oh, like William Tell once, forget about it, just like fight someone, Logan.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Oh, also Nightcrawler as well. I believe he's Alan Cummings. He's gonna be in the movie as well. That's cool. I want to see him again.
But I want to start with you, Henry. So because I want to talk about the X-Men that are not in this trailer that could potentially be in the movie. So let's hear what X-Men do you think are going to be in the movie that are not in the trailer?
Well, for sure, I want to see Storm. I mean, that's a given because,
Halle Berry Storm?
Halle Berry. Of course, Halle Berry. Come on. I don't know if it was briefly, I already mentioned it, Nightcrawler. I don't know if he was shown in the trailer. Was he? No?
Not that we should see.
I don't believe he was shown in the trailer, no.
Oh, okay. But yeah, for sure, I mean, he's already casted, so I'm pretty sure he is in the movie, but I just want to see him again. I really loved him in X2. Who else? Oh, Colossus. You guys mentioned Colossus. Yes, I want him to be back, even though, yes, it's not the Colossus we know from Deadpool, which is a different actor. I want to see the original. And also Iceman. Iceman for sure.
Why do you want to see Drake in the movie?
Nah, not Drake. The OG Iceman.
Well, he is Drake. He's Bobby Drake.
I know. Oh, god damn. You trapped me.
Got him.
You trapped me.
Woo! I was hoping you would get that alley-oop. I was really hoping you'd get that alley-oop.
Why'd you have to do that to me? Oh, man. But I want to see Iceman pop off. Not like the actual Drake though.
Okay.
He didn't pop up at all. I'm sorry.
Now let's get your take, Mr. Lex. What are some X-Men that are not currently in the trailer that could potentially be in Doomsday?
No, so like we already said earlier, I definitely would want to see Kelsey Grammer's Beast again. Really excited for Colossus. As underutilized as he was in the two movies, I think he left a lasting impression. I think in total, like Colossus was only what maybe, and help me out, guys. Like what, 4 minutes of screen time? Maybe like for sure less than 10, right?
Yeah.
Like we agree, like less than 10. Yeah. So less than 10 minutes of screen time. Just to make it simple, I'm gonna say 5 minutes. It's a nice number. So he has like 5 minutes of screen time, and maybe like 3 of those minutes he's out of his Colossus form. He's just a regular dude. What I want to see is that universe's version of the fastball special. I want to see Colossus pick up Wolverine and throw him. Like that's like the greatest combo that X-Men has ever done. Even in the video games, you can like throw Wolverine if you're like certain characters. So I want to see Colossus. I want to see Kelsey Grammer. Right now that Henry had mentioned it, Nightcrawler. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. He was wonderful. The next two, I'd love to see Nightcrawler too. But something that I would want to see of the Fox's universe's interpretation is, and I don't know if Channing Tatum plays out in this or because of the events of Days of Future Past, if the other dude from X-Men Wolverine Origins, does anyone remember the guy's name who played Gambit?
No, but I can look it up.
I don't know his name off the top of my head.
All right, well, either way, I kind of want to see the Fox Universe's version.
It's Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch. I want to see if he is the Fox Universe's Gambit, or if maybe what's his face who directed the movies, the X-Men movies, the Fox ones.
Bryan Singer?
Bryan Singer, thank you. Or if Bryan Singer had a different Gambit in mind. I would want to see what the Fox's universe's Gambit is, because from the X-Men series, Gambit was always like the cool guy, the suave guy, with his little Cajun attitude and everything. So that's, even though we have Channing Tatum's Gambit, I would want to see what Bryan Singer's version of Gambit is, unless we're going to go with the technicality of, we had, what's his name?
Brian Kirch.
Kirch's Gambit, and he's technically the Fox's Gambit. Yeah, that's the only X-Men I really care about. It would be Colossus first, Beast, Nightcrawler, that version of oh no, wait, but she was in First Class. I was gonna say Emma Frost to appease you, Henry, but we already have the Emma Frost.
Yeah, we did. No clue. She's gonna show up in this movie. I mean, the Fox version. She'd be kind of older, but very not possible.
I mean, diamonds only get better with age. I'm just saying.
True.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's probably the only X-Men that I really care from like the Singer verse that we didn't get to see. I can't think of any other X-Men I'd be interested in. Yeah, because we got Angel. Yeah, those are the only X-Men
only in Last Stand, but yeah, we did get Angel.
Yeah, we did get Angel. Because I'm thinking like from the cartoon, right? Like, because obviously that's what we grew up with, watching the cartoon first. That's the only X-Men I really care about. I mean, maybe if we don't get the Singer version of Cable, it'd be cool to see Josh Brolin be Cable again. Like, he was always the Fox version of Cable. But yeah, that's it. What about you, Doom? You have any X-Men characters that weren't there that you want to see?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Storm. I for sure want to see Storm. Even though I don't think she's in this movie, I know they're saving her for sure for Black Panther 3. So that'll be cool with her and T'Challa. Let me see, who else? Oh, you already mentioned Gambit. I didn't want to talk about Gambit. But, just to stay on Gambit really quick, that is actually one X-Men I really want to see. just because we got a little taste of him in Deadpool and Wolverine. But I cannot wait until we get him in like a real serious, like not like trying to be funny, but like an actual like serious where like everything's on the line. And I want to see how Gambit reacts to that because I don't think he'll be the same Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine. Like as far as like comedy goes, it'll be more serious.
I popped up and said, "What's up, Doc?"
One of my favorite lines. Yes. So that's one I really want to see. Iceman for sure. Just to stick on Iceman really quick, if they do introduce him in this movie, I do want to see what they do with his character. Just because I know in the Fox X-Men version, I don't remember them mentioning he was an Omega level mutant.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe so. So I want to see him get that Omega level status. I also want to see how they develop his character, and I know you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Lex.
His mutant development?
The fact that not heterosexual.
So homosexual? I think you could say that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I mean, we're surrounded with like homosexuals too. We're good, you know? I'm just saying, like, we support them, you know, right?
What's wrong with homosexuals?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's
bro?
nothing wrong in whoever chooses to live that life. I'm just saying, I want to see if they develop that aspect of Iceman's character.
So you want like
No, I
representation?
don't want that. No, I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying I want to see if Marvel will go through with that.
Yeah, you want to see representation.
No, I'm not saying I want to see it on screen. I'm saying I want to see if Marvel even, like, if they're even going to play with that.
Yeah, like looking in the mirror. Like that's what you want.
You ever seen that Eric, the Incredible Hulk from 2003?
Like the movie, right?
Yeah. When he's rubbing the mirror and he sees it's gonna be him.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, because it became a major part of his character in the comics. I don't see why Disney wouldn't pursue it. Obviously, not make it like a major plot point, but just offhand, just mentioned, oh yeah, he's part of the LGBTQ community or something. However, it wouldn't really make any sense to just give him character development since they're gonna die off anyways.
I think they for sure will explore that in like the newer cast if they decide to have Iceman in the newer X-Men movie. I mean, they could do it.
So the only reason I bring that up is because we saw Marvel already try to implement that part in the Phase 4 and 5, and it backfired on them. Like we saw that with She-Hulk, where they tried to implement a lot of. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, guys. I'm just pointing out the obvious, but like the
facts, the numbers.
yeah, the femininity of the show.
Feminism.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. So
you reminded me of Finding Nemo. It's in the
little shark insert picture of Finding Nemo. Yellow shark.
What the? And then
okay, kid.
On point.
Welcome aboard, explorers.
I live in an.
That's funny. Okay, so I do want to see if they'd be willing to explore that though, with Iceman, just because, like I said, it did backfire on them. It did backfire on them, so I don't know if they'd be willing to do that with Iceman. So that's my only question there.
Well, I feel like if they don't, they're going to get a major backlash from the community. So either way, they're in a position where damned if they do, damned if they don't. And unfortunately, as much as it sucks, I feel like the easiest way to avoid that problem is to just not have Iceman. Because if you don't have a character, you don't have to worry about, hey, do we embrace his recent, and I know it's not like recent, but his recent coming out character, his homosexual character, or do we imply it or keep it kind of like on the down low? Again, you're gonna be damned if you do, damned if you don't. The not to get political here, but you'll have the conservative fans who'll say, "Hey, that's not my Iceman," or you'll have the LGBTQ community that'll say, "Hey, this is a major point of his character," blah blah blah. So unfortunately, I feel like Disney's easiest way out is just not have Iceman. Yeah, I mean, Henry, how do you feel about that?
I feel if they want to do him right, I'd suggest them doing it like how, and this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, how they did with the character Bill from the Last of Us game. Are you guys familiar with Bill?
Who is the actor that portrayed him really quick?
It was
Ron Swanson,
yeah,
Nick
Offerman. Yeah, Nick Offerman. But yes, from the show, it's a little bit of a deviation of his character a little bit because of the way the episode was portrayed, and they made it like literally the plot of Up. I feel in the game, Bill, he's a badass character that you meet. It's just very subtle, and he takes you through like one of the main parts of Bill's town. But they make it subtle that he is gay in the end of his run with you as Joel and Ellie. So that's why I thought that was actually a good way of portraying someone that could be somewhat controversial if they were to do it wrong and like, butcher like the representation. Do it to where you show off his badassery. So like Iceman, he's an Omega level mutant. Show him off that he can do Omega level mutant things. Portray him as like a badass mutant. Make him, do some crazy shit. I don't know if it's killing off a character or if it's, showing off his powers. Say like
chilling Wolverine soda.
He did. That was badass. I won't lie. That was badass.
That was good.
But basically, treat the character right, and then you'll treat the representation right. That's literally that simple. Don't make it overly flashy like how they did with She-Hulk. I'm sorry, but that was true. They did it overly flashy, and they didn't know She-Hulk's character. So that's how I feel. They need to do research on their characters first before they do the show. But show off Iceman. Don't just make him like a gag character where he just chill the beer and that's it, or doing like a
still badass though.
It is badass,
and it was technically soda, not beer. Because remember, Wolverine was
it was
soda. Wolverine like, you got any alcohol? And he's like, no, this is a school. Like, there's soda in the fridge. Yeah.
But show him off.
I would love that, like to chill off my like beer, soda, whatever.
Yeah,
that is badass. We're not even being funny.
I know
that is badass. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, shit, we can use it right now. It's freaking hot. Bruh. Stupid. But that's basically my philosophy with how to do representation right. You want to show off the character, make the character likable, and basically show off their strengths. That's how you get someone to like a character. And that's how I feel you can do representation right. So that's what I think Marvel should do.
I agree with you with that Bill reference from The Last of Us. 100% was on board with that, let's say, character development, even though he was only like in the level for a little bit. I think the main issue here is that Bill is an original character. We got to, again, for lack of a better term, grow with his character development of, oh my gosh, he's a badass. He's basically a makeshift engineer. He sets off all these traps. He has the whole town map. He has a routine. And like you said, there were little hints pointing towards, I forgot the name of his partner.
Kenny, I believe.
Kenny.
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny. Like there were like little hints through the dialogue of like, hey, Kenny was more than just like a best friend or a partner. And at the very end, when you pick up that note crumpled up before leaving, and you realize that, oh no, like they were in a relationship, they were romantically involved in everything. Because he was an original character, you grew with that revelation, let's say. With Iceman, especially more as the comics progress from his original officially coming out, yes, it's not like now in 2026 when he goes in his ice form, he's like in rainbow colors or anything. He's not that, um, let's say, lavish. But at this point, it is so ingrained, I guess, that okay, Iceman is gay. That I don't think subtlety like that would work because you will face the backlash of everyone knows he's gay. So you either show he's gay or you don't. That subtlety will just get backlash from both communities. So you either offend one of them or you're going to offend both of them because of that subtlety. Because, let's say, again, not to use political terms, but the conservatives will say, oh, well, if you were being that subtle, you don't need to do it at all. And again, the contrary with the LGBT, are you kidding me? Like, you just put a rainbow flag on a pin on him. Like, no, he's openly gay. Like, that's a big thing. That's why, again, the problem with Iceman is that because that's his character, and that's a trait that has just been developed for the past. I'm not sure how long ago Marvel officially made him gay, but it's been years for sure. You can't do it subtly, and that's my issue with him because I don't want his sexuality to be a factor in his character. Not to say that that's not who he is now, but if it's going to be such a major controversy where neither side can enjoy the character, neither fans can just be like, dude, he's Iceman, he's an Omega level mutant, and he's a main cast of the X-Men team. Why ruin such a good character just because for the political or the social or the commentary aspect we didn't get it right? But that's the trouble with someone as popular as him. Doom, how do you feel about Iceman's future, both as the Fox Iceman and the new generation Iceman coming from the MCU?
Well, to start with the Fox X-Men, if we get him in this movie, it would be super cool. I wish we could get Iceman Doom fight. Don't know how well that would turn out for Iceman, but it would still be intriguing nonetheless. So that's the Fox X-Men part. As far as crossing over into this new rebooted X-Men MCU that we're about to get, I do think he can play a very pivotal role, especially if they follow his comic book storyline, so to speak, like his origin story, I guess. That would be very interesting to incorporate. It would also be a very powerful character you can have early on that can develop more into a leader, like I feel Iceman is. That's something they didn't really show in the movies. So that would be cool to see. But that would be my opinion on Iceman. But I do have a question. There is one X-Men we haven't really talked about, and he's actually very important, I believe, to this movie, or he could be. And that's Cyclops. Well, as far as Cyclops goes, my question to you guys is, since we're finally getting a comic accurate Cyclops, and we assume that his version is going to be closer to like X-Men 97 as far as like him being the leader of the X-Men and all that, what do you think his role will be in Doomsday? And I'm not just talking about leading the X-Men, but like, what will his role be? What would Doom want from him? How would that fight turn out? Type thing.
Hmm. Well, first of all, I believe he is going to be like the leader archetype of the X-Men side of things, especially if, like how you say, he has his comic accurate suit. For what he's going to be doing, I'm assuming Doctor Doom's probably going to tempt him into thinking that, oh, we can bring Jean Grey back if, help out with having your universe survive in defeating this other universe.
A Famke Jean Grey or the new Jean Grey?
Famke.
Famke.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what happens in Last Stand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, R.I.P. Jean Grey. Although it's a little bit complicated, she kind of fell in love with Logan at the end there. But yeah, his last memory of her before he was eviscerated was, her coming back. Literally, like it's like holy shit, like you're dead and now you're back. But nonetheless, I do remember reading that there was going to be a possible fight between Cyclops and Sam's Captain America, right? So it's like leader versus leader there. So automatically, I assumed, okay, Cyclops is going to be the leader of that group. What he's doing in terms of that one shot where he's in front of a sentinel and he's just beaming out like crazy and yelling, who knows what's going on there? I'm like, what the hell did he? Who did what to make him that pissed off? So I want to know what the hell is going on there. But
A lot of people are saying he got sweat in his eyes and he had to take off the visor.
what the hell? And singe him off?
Yeah.
This literally, he doesn't need to have him on for that long.
I want to say really quick that is a very, very unfair fight.
Yes. Although I think they are actually going to bring Steve's Captain America to help fight along too.
That would make more
think,
sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think that
101
would be
with
make it
Cyclops.
fair.
I believe in a previous episode we actually talked about this.
Yes,
that,
we
like,
did.
leader versus leader, and I don't know about Steve helping in the fight, but we did say that Sam Wilson's Captain America was gonna get help with his Falcon. I can't remember what's his
Walking
Falcon.
Taurus.
Walking Taurus. So they were gonna do like a shield and sword tactic, where it's Sam Wilson's Captain America just taking all of the optic blasts, and Joaquin Torres is doing the attack, like coming in, diving, and whatever. So that's how I remember the last episode where we said, "Oh, obviously a one-on-one fight, totally unfair."
Yeah,
I agree with you, Doom and Henry. But if we get Joaquin Torres in there, you just do the shield and sword tactic.
Yeah,
I still think it's unfair. But yeah.
Okay, unfair, yes, but with the shield and sword tactic, you have a chance.
If he takes off that visor, it's game over, both of them.
Yeah.
And just for clarification, I got the name wrong of Bill's partner. It's Frank. So I hit myself in the leg there. I'm like, damn it, why did I forget that? I love The Last of Us. I don't know how the hell I forgot Frank's name, but yeah, it's Frank, not Kenny.
So, frankly, I'm disappointed.
I know I hate myself for forgetting that. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Last of Us fan too. So yeah.
I guess to be frank, right?
I mean, he caught me hanging. Doesn't know I got caught hanging.
If you know, you know.
But yeah, I want to see what the hell made Cyclops that pissed off. He got sweat in his eye. No, you know what's a funnier way? Spider-Man, Toby Spider-Man got some dirt in his eye.
I'm gonna throw some dirt in your eye. What if that's actually like what happened?
Dude, that'll be funny.
It's like, oh, you use your eyes to like blast? Okay, like
I mean the rumor
it's gonna be King of the Hill with Dale, like pocket sand.
Pocket sand. He's running away, going to Bobby. He's like, Bobby, open the door. Oh man.
Yeah. I think something really bad happens in that scene though.
I know.
Or badass.
I mean, you have a sentinel broken down in the background. Someone must have died there.
I think, if you're asking my opinion, I think either he got like blasted on, like really bad, to where he's just like, screw this, and taking off the mask, or there was a character death that was very important to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only two that make sense to me.
So, how do you guys feel about the theory of what are incursions, or this is going to sound stupid. What are incursions made of?
What are they made of?
Yes, like what is an incursion made of? Like if I say, oh, the world is going to die because the sun exploded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the sun exploding? It's fire. Let's just dumb it down. It's fire. So the world died because the fire from the sun burned the world. So what is
one of two things? When the sun explodes, it could be one of two things, mind you.
No, yeah, I'm just dumbing it down.
I just want to know: are you asking for a scientific explanation, or are you just asking our opinion?
Yeah, I believe that's what he's asking, like the scientific.
Yeah, because obviously, if you're gonna stop like if you say, and again, I'm dumbing it down. Hey, the sun's gonna explode. We're gonna die because of fire. Oh, we'll get a big bucket of water and douse the sun. You know, like okay, to stop fire, pour water. So, what are incursions made of? And I'm not like making a joke here. Like, what are they made of? Like,
No,
is it fire? Is it electricity? Like,
I don't think any of those things. I think it has to do with gravity, dark matter.
I would think it would be something related to dark matter as well, or possibly like its own black hole type of thing. Or not black hole, not
so
that intense.
would you say that incursions are or are not energy based? Because if you say gravity is not energy per se, it is a force.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you guys is, would you say incursions are energy based? Like the sun exploding is fire based. A transformer exploding is electric or electricity based.
I think it's definitely not that. It's definitely a force.
What about you, Henry? Do you think that incursions is a force or is it energy?
Because
No,
energy
it has
energy
to
can
be
be
force.
controlled, right?
Well, force can
It
be
can be-
controlled too.
Energy can be manipulated, but
Yeah.
it has to be a
but this
force.
is not Star Wars.
Yeah, but scientifically, energy cannot be destroyed or made. It has to be can be modified.
Right. That's why I would think
it
that
has to be a
incursion.
force. It has to be a force.
Okay, so you think incursions are forces, then, not energy based?
Yeah.
Because one of the theories was, and I know we're getting like tangenting here. Do you guys remember Dragon Ball, like the whole universe thing?
Mhm.
Do you remember Frieza when he was gonna go blow up Planet Vegeta?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So obviously Frieza uses his like energy dark matter ball or whatever to blow it up. And Goku's dad, who I cannot remember his name, Bardock?
Yeah, I believe so.
Bardock, right? Goku's father tries to stop the energy, or just like every character. Every character, if you're strong enough, you could block an energy blast with your own energy blast and even like power through it and whatever. So one of the theories was that the incursion is coming and Cyclops is just going full force to stop the incursion or to slow it down enough for everyone to leave. That was one of the theories that I heard where, let's just say the incursion is like a energy beam or like a energy wave. He just said, screw it, took off the visor, and he is slowing down the incursion wave just enough for everyone else to leave that world or that universe.
I have not heard of that theory specifically. I have heard Sentry stopping a incursion with his bare hands. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard anything about Cyclops, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that was Cyclops' version of Sentry stopping it, where he's like, okay, I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to go like full optic blast.
At the same time, though, I don't think that would be the case because Cyclops, the force that comes out of Cyclops' eyes
is kinetic energy.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm saying if the incursions were energy based, that's why he, in theory,
got you.
Because you guys were saying it's a force, but if it is energy based, his eyes are just pure kinetic energy.
Yeah.
So he's just saying, all right, well, screw it. I'm going to buy as much time as possible. Visor off, push the incursion wave, if not to a stop, just slow it down enough so that everyone else can evacuate.
Yeah, don't think his lasers would do that. I think when he takes off...
Oh, but his lasers can, stop him from jumping off a jet and landing safely on the ground.
That I can't explain. That one just...
Or Marvel Rivals, he can just jetpack around with his laser. Yeah, that makes sense right there.
We'll think about that.
But yeah, that's the theory that I heard. And obviously, I know people are going to CGI out like the character. Like, let's say it's Jean Grey, like his body in front of him. It could be that it's CG'd out, but it doesn't look like he's holding anyone. It doesn't really look like there's like a dead body or bodies around him. So I do like the theory that he just said, okay, I'm going to buy you guys time. And he just lasered it off.
He is on his knees, though.
Because he's trying to like hold it off. Like, obviously, he's starting off like, a strong position, and it's just like slowly bringing him down. But, and it's an easy way to kill off, I forgot the name of the actor, but the dude's, the Fox X-Men's character in that scene. Because, you're not going to bring him back. So
James Marsden.
So, like, two birds with one stone. You kill him off so you don't need to write him in the story. and you show like, oh my gosh, look at him going full optic blast.
I do want to see him in Secret Wars though, so I hope they don't kill him off. Or if they do kill him off, bring him back.
Just for one more movie, please.
Just one more movie, man.
Yeah, especially with all those memes of like my expectations of Doomsday, where it's Supersonic coming out and he's like, Donut Lord, you're here too?
Okay. I have a question to ask you guys. So before I ask my question, let me ask a follow-up question. Have you guys read the Secret Wars comic?
Yes.
A long time ago. I'm gonna have to reread it again.
Okay, so are we familiar with how the incursion started in the comics?
Yes.
Vaguely familiar.
Okay, so I'll give you a brief little rundown. So basically, we find out that Doom actually started the incursions, and it was on his quest to find the Beyonders. Once he found the Beyonders and he found out what their plan was, his course of action in trying to steal their power started the incursions. So, my question now to you is, do you think Doom is responsible for the MCU's incursions, or is he trying to stop them?
I mean, from what we've seen in the end credit of
Fantastic
the
Four?
Fantastic Four, if that is him, because now there's new rumors that it's probably not him, but one of his witches.
Definitely different.
Yes, the
Yeah.
mask is different. So if it is him, which now is skeptical now, they did go to see Franklin. And with that, I believe he's a future Beyonder, if I'm correct. Right?
He becomes one.
He becomes one. So that's already a little step in the door of that theory of, oh, he's already starting the incursions because of that meeting with baby Franklin. I want to say he is responsible, but then he veils it to like whoever he meets in Doomsday as him trying to help stop it. Because we all know he is a deceiver. He does like to, twist minds a little bit, in his favor. So I want to say that he is partially responsible for it, but that he's going to mask it in trying to help stop him. But that in order to get rid of a lot of future foes of his, he's going to make them fight each other to kind of thin out the herd, so to speak.
Very well said. Mr. Lex, can we get your take?
I mean, why can't it be both? Where he did try to find the power, he screwed up causing the incursions, and he legitimately wants to stop the incursions, not because it's the right thing to do, but it's like, well, I can't rule the multiverse if there's no multiverse. So I feel like it's a bit of both, where if he did create the incursions, he would want to stop it even for selfish reasons. So he's not being manipulative or deceiving in his quest to stop it. It's the how he's doing it that's the deceiving part. Although I gotta be honest with you guys, I really don't think Doom would be the one to cause the incursions. I honestly want to say this is the MCU's way of kind of deleting the Kang dynasty, where the events of Loki is what caused the incursions. Doom is like, oh shoot, this is what is it? A thorn on my side, or this is what's the phrase? A misstep, or what?
A nuisance?
Yeah, a nuisance, but it's like a misstep in my plans, or like a bump in the road. There we go. That's what I was trying to think of. Like the events of Loki and Kang, that's what caused the incursions. It's like, oh, there's no Kang dynasty. Like, oh, whoops, reset the universe. So Doom was like, oh shoot, this is a bump in the road. I gotta kind of come out sooner than what I wanted to, because I need to legitimately stop the incursions. But hey, like Henry was saying, I want to thin out the herd. So, well, I don't need to get to do it. Like, oh, I'll just have the X-Men fight the Avengers and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, these heroes will stop the incursion. And now there's less heroes to deal with for when I continue with my plan. That's the way that I see it. I don't think it's Doom doing the incursions. It's the events of Loki. Doom was like, shoot, now I gotta come out earlier. And that's why we have Doomsday at this point in time, which is also why I feel it adds legitimacy to the Russo brothers basically erasing all of, phase 4. And with the new Endgame re-release, showing how Doomsday is right after Infinity War. No, I'm sorry. Doomsday is right after Endgame, because technically the events of Loki all happened, I guess, simultaneously with Endgame. And now Doom has to be like, shoot, Loki and Kang did this. I gotta appear right after. That's how I see it. What about you, Doom?
I think he started the incursions.
You just want to hype your man up.
Yes, but at the same time, me knowing how he is, he definitely started them, and I think it has to do a little bit with the comics. So his quest, learning about the Beyonders, unknowingly triggering incursions, and then discovering the multiverse, only to find out that it's already a wreck. Nothing is how it's supposed to be. People are living, quote unquote, stolen lives. So I think Doom definitely started the incursions, and I want to see if my theory is correct, how they explain that, which I think can be explained fairly simply through Loki, him stealing Loki's power, or stealing Baby Franklin's power, which would be very dark for the story. But that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's Doom for you. He's
It
not
is.
above going dark.
It is. I want to ask both of you guys really, but I really want to ask Mr. Henry this question. So, Mr. Henry, which hero shown in the trailer do you think has the biggest chance of dying?
Thor. I said it before and I'll say it again. I think it's Thor.
Hey, like that's it. You're not even explaining.
Oh, you want me to explain why?
Well, I mean, like Thor is like the biggest heavy hitter in the whole arsenal. So if he dies, we're kind of screwed.
Hence why it's the biggest shock value.
That is true. Who is Captain Marvel?
Thor?
Yelena, small potatoes. Doom is small potatoes.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna save that segment for the Spider-Man segment. Does that have
Thor?
Huh?
Thor?
No, small potatoes.
Oh,
no. I must say that for the Spider because I have a lot to say about that. But,
Oh, I bet you do.
Yeah.
About what? Who's dying?
No, the Yelena.
Oh, okay.
Yelena, the
I didn't say that.
spa. I said that.
Oh. You want her to die?
No, that Thor is small potatoes. Like I'm making a joke, like Thor dying. Like,
Okay, my bad.
but yes, why do you feel like Thor would be the most likely death?
It's the biggest shock value. He's the only one that's gonna be like the biggest threat to Doom, so he might as well get rid of him. Plus, Thor is the one that kind of brings everyone together. So if you get rid of him, it's the biggest disarray to the Avengers team. Because he's the one that gives me Mjolnir Cap, who we believe is either Cap of the MCU or of Captain Hydra. That's another thing. But he's the one that he looks weary when he looks to Cap, and then he gives Mjolnir, and then that's when he smiles. I was like, "Oh, it's you." He's also the one that tells everyone that's the Fantastic Four, the new Avengers, and Shuri and the Wakandans. They're all there in that one room, and he explains everything. So to me, that's already hyping him. They're giving him a lot of screen time, and I'm thinking, oh shit, they might kill him. They might do that. I mean, considering we see the one clip of him bringing Stormbreaker down, and then Doom just whops it away with 2 fingers. Like, what else is there to see where they give someone a lot of screen time? They're like, okay, they're prepping him up to kill him. That's how I feel. Because I've seen a lot of movies where they do that, and I'm like, shit, that's gonna be the biggest heartbreak to people, I feel, for this movie, because he's been in the game for the longest time, and he is a leader as well, I would say. He's a leader type, and if Doom, that's the biggest opposition to Doom. So Doom would be like, okay, once you're out of my hair, then I get to have everyone go into chaos for me. So that's why I feel that way.
It's not a bad plan.
No.
But let's hear you, Mr. Lex.
I mean, whose contract with Marvel is up? Because those are going to be the ones dying.
Contracts that are up.
Exactly. So, I mean, just whoever's contracts are up, that's it. You're dead. You know. But legitimately, I mean, I gotta say, if we're being legit, because this is gonna go back to what I thought about Steve Rogers, where I do not believe he is our Steve Rogers. He could either be an evil or good variant. But if I had to give an answer, I would say Steve Rogers is dying. Only because that's the best way to not bring him back at all. It makes the storyline for Secret Wars even simpler. And you couldn't finally lay him at rest, so to speak. And I'm not talking about IRL, like, oh, his contract is up or whatever. It's just everyone wants Captain America again for good reason, but that's just the perfect way to end it. Like, he is dead. Like, there is no, oh, he went back in time, or some obscure, like, oh, he just disappeared or whatever. Like, he's dead. Thor, I feel like you still could, not still could. You would need Thor for Secret War just to get him like the foot in the door and be like, hey, this is Battle World. Like, I know this is gonna sound bad, but because nobody else in our roster is demigod level, powerful, I feel like Thor is like the foot in the door to get them into Secret War. Even something as simple as using why can't I remember the Bifrost? Even something as using like, okay, hey, you guys, we're gonna go on a trip in our favorite magic ship and just Bifrost into Battle World and then kill him off, then cool. But I feel like that's why you would still need Thor for Secret War, and Captain America would probably be the best shock value because he has Peggy, and from the first teaser trailer, he has his kid. So that would be more shock value than Thor dying, in my opinion. Doom, who do you think would be dead? All of them. They're going against Doom. They don't have a chance.
The original question I asked was what hero has the biggest chance of dying? So the biggest chance of dying. You guys, I don't want to repeat your answer. So you said Thor and you said
Captain America.
Captain America. Captain America Steve Rogers or Captain America Sam?
Our Captain America.
Yes,
Our
Steve.
Steve Rogers Captain America.
America's ass.
That's America's ass right there.
Okay. I'm going with this strictly for the shock value, not necessarily because I think this person has the biggest chance of dying. I just think this person is going to have a really horrible death. Just horrible. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
I think you technically said in the trailer, though, right? When he asked the question, Henry?
Let me see.
Um,
Oh, okay. So I did say that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I was like, don't hurt my boy Toby, please.
Oh, but I
No.
do agree, though. I think Toby
Yeah.
will be eviscerated.
But
God.
he'll die, but he'll be brought back.
You know what would be cool? Like, because assuming it's going to be Wolverine doing it, do you guys remember the Marvel Zombies comic run where the zombie Spider-Man jumps into, I forget what universe, but he jumps into a universe where there's Spider-Man or whatever. So he's there like being like a menace, and he scares like some of the Sinister Six, one of them being Sandman. So when that universe's Spider-Man goes to see what the ruckus is about, Sandman is already like scared crapless, and he's like, oh shit, like I'm gonna die. So Sandman goes into Peter's like mouth, and like he like escapes out of Peter's like stomach. Like he blows like Spider-Man from the inside out. I feel like Spider-Man will have that death with Wolverine. Like Wolverine will like just like gut him like inside out like that.
Oh my God.
That'd be cool.
I don't think Wolverine will kill him that easy.
No.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Well, obviously, I'm not saying it's gonna be like a simple like, oh, you didn't see me, like, you know, like they're gonna fight, but like at one point, like, I don't know, Spider-Man is gonna like miss a step or whatever, so that's gonna be Wolverine just like freaking like literally like a Wolverine, just like honey badger, like
If he's gonna
ripping
do
his
it, he's gonna
shreds.
have to be in frenzy mode in order to take Toby down.
And guess what? We've never seen
I fear that's gonna. No, we've seen him in frenzy.
him in Berserker mode.
Yeah, Logan. Come on. You don't count that as Berserker?
I count that as old man Berserker.
Oh my god.
I'm a little twisted with that one, but
yeah. Okay, it is just old man Berserker, but we need to see him go Berserker mode.
So to answer my own question, I'm gonna have to say Charles Xavier.
Yeah. Okay.
You think he's gonna get a brutal death like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I think worse than Spider-Man.
Oh wow.
Worse than Spider-Man, just not in the sense of goriness, in the sense of who did it. I don't think Doom's gonna be the one that kills him.
Cyclops is gonna kill him.
Magneto.
Nah, Magneto's killed him before.
Exactly, but this time is permanent.
Damn. Well, he didn't kill him.
And-
It was Jean Grey that killed him before.
But remember, Magneto's thing is I'm doing what's best for mutants.
Mhm.
And Charles's thing, I'm doing what's best for mutants and humans.
Yeah. Is that why
And
you think they're like consoling each other in the trailer?
I think Doom is in his head. Like,
Mm.
and so.
But he has the helmet on.
No, in the
No,
in
not
the
in his head
trailer.
like that. Not in
Yeah,
his
no,
head
the
like
trailer
that,
he didn't
yeah.
have the helmet on.
Ooh.
Yeah, he just manipulated him. Like, come on, you see what Charles has done. You see what he's become. Blah, blah, blah.
But he's my boy though.
We already seen him die twice already? Logan and Last Stand.
Yeah.
So now we see it again.
Well,
Damn.
3 times.
Oh yeah, multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse.
But that's
I
not-
wouldn't even be surprised if he dies fighting Sentry, because I did hear we're gonna get that fight as well.
Charles versus Sentry?
Yeah,
Whoa.
because if
So
you
he's-
think about it, you're not gonna overpower Sentry. The
No.
only way to kill him is to get in his mind.
But if he gets in his mind, he meets the void. That's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
you have to
he has to
remember-
do it as Bob.
Yeah,
But you got to
Damn.
remember though, in the psychic plane, Charles is OP though.
he is. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm worried
Multiverse of
if-
Madness didn't show that.
Yeah, I know. I'm that's why I'm avoiding, because I'm like, if he
That's part
meets
of
the
Wish
void, the
possible.
void could kill him.
But
In
not
and
in
of
the
itself.
psychic plane though.
No, he's trapped inside Sentry right now.
Yeah.
So if he meets the void inside the mind,
Oh yeah, no, the void will kill him.
the void will
Easy.
kill him.
Easy.
Wow. You guys have no faith in Charles, bro. Man,
It's gonna be a
Captain
hard
Picard, bro.
battle, but
I
I'm
wish I
pretty
could
sh-
talk about X-Men 97.
I'm sorry.
That's our Captain Picard there, man. You have no faith in Picard.
Damn.
Okay, so let's do one more question before we move on to a topic we all want to talk about. But let's ask. Okay, so going back to the trailer. Which matchup teased in the trailer are you most excited to see?
I want to see that Doom and Thor fight. I do want to see that Doom and Thor fight.
Shang-Chi versus Gambit.
So-
Like that one, I feel like is just going to be a lot cooler. Obviously, it's not going to be as important as Doom versus Thor, but it's just going to be a lot cooler. Like you can tell they're going to have like better choreography. I was going to say cinematography, but the choreography is going to be way cooler, and I just want to see like purple stuff exploding on golden rings like that. What about you, Doom?
That one is tough because you did steal my answer. I was originally gonna say Gambit and Shang-Chi. I'm gonna go with Sentry and Xavier because that one was a rumored fight. I would love to see that one. So
Wow, why don't you pick Namor, man? You don't want to see that Namor
I'm
fight?
jealous. I'm jealous because he's trying to steal Sue Storm,
Exactly. So you got to fight him, bro.
destroy him.
And Reed's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing to my wife?"
It's my way. Okay, guys. Well, that'll conclude our segment for Avengers Doomsday. Now we shift over to Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Finally.
Woo! As of the taping of this recording, Spider-Man Brand New Day has been out a week now. I have seen it 3 times. How many times have you guys seen it?
Twice.
I'm excited. I've seen it twice, and as you can see, I'm excited to talk about it. I just knocked the light over.
Well, since you're that excited, we'll start with you. Let's get your first reaction first of New Day.
I am already loving this new dynamic. I've been waiting for this for one. We've been waiting for a Spider-Man movie for like 2 years now. Two, as soon as I heard Punisher was going to be in it, I was already double excited. I got a little bit tipsy, and I was like, I'm going to drink to this. But damn it, do they work well together? I don't know if you guys agree, but I freaking love the dynamic between Punisher and Peter. They're freaking awesome. Getting to the nitty gritty, this movie was kind of sad, seeing Peter go through his little midlife crisis as we all do with the other Spider-Man. Of course, I've been waiting for this. We all wanted to see his evolution, of course, because usually when they have their little depressive episode, they come out better in the end. And we get to see that with his little evolutionary spike that we get to see, his arachnid hormonal DNA seems to be spiking, and then we see how that plays out. Yes, of course, he wants to dampen it because he wants to, fight crime without having those gruesome headaches and the organic webbing that goes haywire and kind of seems a little bit like him discovering puberty, as I could say, because he really that scene where he was trying to get it out and it just kept spurting out. I couldn't unthink that, and I was like, I think they're trying to.
Flashbacks for you?
No, they were alluding to this as like a little metaphor for puberty. I feel, I really do feel that. That's why I think they made a nod to that, where he's like, "You getting a late bloomer or something or whatever." I forgot who says it. I don't know if it was Scorpion or Frank, but they alluded to that a little bit. It was like a little nod.
Is that what Henry did 20 minutes before the movie?
No, y'all are freaking crazy, bro. Okay, but yes,
He's just like me. I have organic webbing too.
bruh. Thank God. But yeah, we do see this. We see him going through that, figuring himself out, as well as figuring out who this mysterious villain was, who we come to find out was Jean Elaine Grey. I mean, we already how far along did we call this? I mean, we all were guessing who the villain was. We're like, okay, it's either Jean Grey or who else was it? Like
I think it was just
I
like
heard Siren.
yeah, but I think early on once we saw Sadie Sink and we saw the red hair,
yeah,
we were all kind of like,
yeah,
okay,
we're like,
Jean
okay,
Grey.
Jean Grey, yeah. So of course, yeah, it ended up being Jean Grey. And sorry to that one gentleman in the red carpet premiere. I don't know who the artist was, but he's the one that spilled the beans. We're like, oh shit.
He was a composer for the soundtrack of
The soundtrack, okay. And he spilled the beans early on that Monday premiere. Yeah, I know it was.
Yes, it
Because
was.
we were all joking in the background. We're like, Kevin Feige's gonna hunt him down. So yeah, I
Someone
know.
already like
I
edited his
know.
Wikipedia page like to past tense.
And it's
all his
funny too, because he
Wikipedia.
in the Monday red carpet premiere, he was like, "Oh, we're not doing spoilers, are we?" And she's like, "You can do whatever you want." He's like, "All right, well, Jean Grey." I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Oh my god, it was Jean Grey. We see her body hopping a lot in the movie, which was interesting, as well as the little middle twist that kind of broke my heart a little bit when she hopped into Zendaya's MJ and kind of led him on into believing it was MJ, figuring out he was Peter the whole time. That scene broke my heart a little bit. I was like, damn, that's messed up. I cut myself there cussing. But yeah, that one, when I first saw that, I was like, damn, that sucks. Like playing with a dude's heart like that when he's missing MJ for 2 years now, I'd say. But
4 years.
4 years. My apologies. Yeah, that really hurt seeing that. But then, of course, the later on aforementioned when MJ reads his letter, that when she confesses that she doesn't remember him still, even though she read the letter and she was blaming him for not telling her, she finally says, "I don't love you." And damn, did that hurt a lot of people in the theater I was in, because I heard a lot of ladies being like, and like basically, also hurting with me. So that was really heartbreaking to see. But, of course, they had to kind of fleshed out that story a little bit. But of course, later on, we kind of end up finding out that Jean also has a sister that she was trying to find the whole time, with the whole deal with damage control. And finally, they're kind of introducing a little bit of the mutant racism storyline there, with the director kind of trying to replicate her powers as well as getting rid of them. But who knows what they're trying to do? I believe they're just trying to copy her mind into like replicating it, as well as showing off, a little bit of the Hulk back in his former glory as the big green menace, which I loved seeing that fight, especially with Punisher. That was also cool. But overall, this movie was fantastic. I loved it. I wish I could speak more, but I need to let these guys talk too. But I
Please
highly
give your entire take.
No, yeah, like go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
I'll go in.
Yeah,
Shit.
yes, go right ahead.
I feel they did Hulk way better in this movie than they did in the past. Are you guys in agreement with that?
Doom, you first, bro. Come
Okay,
on.
okay. Hell yes.
Hell to the yes.
Exactly.
Oh wait, what was the other camera? Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
I'm gonna use your mic. Hell yeah, they did.
They did so well with him, for one, being very weary of, the other guy, as, showing off his little dampener gauntlet thing that he had, as well as showing off, the Green Hulk that we haven't seen in such a while. We haven't seen him since what, Infinity War? When he fought Thanos? That's like the last time we kind of saw like just Hulk.
Savage Hulk? Yeah.
Yes.
Infinity War.
Damn, was that fight cool. It was really cool, especially with seeing how Punisher reacts to fighting finally someone other than a gangster. And of course, it was funny, kind of it being a little realistic with him being, oh shit, when he ground pounds the floor. And then we get to see the iconic clap, the sonic clap of boom.
Thunderclap.
Yeah, I fucking loved seeing that again. That was really cool of him fighting Peter with that. So,
Real quick, the last time we got that was in the first Incredible Hulk movie, right?
no,
With
it was
Edward Norton?
No, was it Avengers, the first one?
I think in Avengers he does like a weak version of it. So
But
like,
yeah.
but
they
in
don't
the
build it
first
up.
movie- In the first movie, he did do the.
In the
Yes,
Edward Norton,
yes,
he did
against
do it.
Abomination.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes, he did. Yeah, so it was cool seeing that again.
Do you enjoy the Hulk clapping Spider-Man behind his back?
I'm sorry, really quick. That moment when he thunderclaps at Spider-Man, did they take that from Avengers, the video game? Did any of you guys ever play that?
Roughly, but I didn't finish it.
There
You're
is
talking about like the recent one.
Oh, was it when he fought Miss Marvel?
Yeah, when Miss Marvel's running away from him.
Yes.
That same thunderclap.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I just remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because she goes to meet Bruce, and then he's like, grumpy, but then he's like, okay, you gotta leave because I'm about to shift. And she's like, what? And he turns. Yeah, okay, dang.
Yeah, that was badass.
That
Right
was-
before he says it's Hulk time.
Yeah,
and
it's okay.
Yeah.
One little complaint that I thought that was kind of cheesy, and I don't know if you guys agree. The whole VMAX thing, I thought that was going to be something really epic as a reveal, but it ends up being an AC unit that was on the top of where I believe Jean Grey's sister perishes when she was going through experiments. I honestly thought that was kind of cheesy. I don't know if I'm being picky, but I was just in the theater when I saw that reveal. I was like, really? That was it? Oh, okay. All right. But then she reveals later, she's like, oh, wait, you guys killed her when she was being experimented on. That was the last thing she saw. And I was like, okay, all right, that makes sense, I guess. But then I guess the initial reveal was kind of cheesy for me. That's just my nitpick there. Other than that, it's cool seeing how, she finally calms down after, realizing that she is not alone in all this, including because, she has that talk with Aunt May in Peter's subconscious as well as Peter. But then the little scare in the end that we all get to see, and of course we saw that iconic panel of Punisher holding Spider-Man, but him getting shot by that long-ass sniper shot from Punisher, I thought that was impressive. Showing the kind of realism of him being knocked back from the bullet.
360 no scope.
All the memes that came from that shot, I swear to God, it's like, you know what? I'm going to hit this trick shot real quick. That was crazy to see that him almost dying. I honestly thought at that moment how we kind of guessed we wanted to see the symbiote kind of show up. I thought that was going to be the moment, but it ended up not being. So I'm kind of sad about that. But you know what? they did do a good job showing that he would still protect her even though she did all the wrongdoings that she did before, body hopping and or playing with his heart with MJ. He still protected her, which is something Spider-Man would do or Peter would do. And got to give kudos to that, give fleshing out his character that way. Especially when he comes into terms with him being both Peter and Spider-Man, both obtaining his new powers and just being right with it and saying, you know what, I'm both. That was cool. He finally accepts his new organic webbing, his new spider senses, and we finally get to see him accepted. And I thought that was cool as well. Of course, I always like to see that scene again, and I think I saved it where Frank lets him escape the hospital by posing as himself. And he goes, I thought that was freaking awesome, and a lot of people were laughing at that part too in the theater. But overall, I give this movie a 9.5. The reason it's not a 10 for me was I thought they were going to do more with the smaller villains, but they ended up just being cameos, as well as the VMAX reveal. That was kind of cheesy for me, so that's why it's not a perfect 10. But other than that, the movie is phenomenal. Of course, I watched it twice, so I might watch it a third time if my family decides to all go together. We'll watch it again probably, but I give it a 9.5.
Mr. Lex, let's start with your first reaction to Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I mean, okay. I really did like the movie. I'm going to start off by saying that I give this movie a 9 out of 10 because it really was that good of a movie. I am on board story-wise with everything that Henry was saying. It's just easy to say, okay, this movie was good because of this movie was cool because of that. And the only good thing I will say, because I want to flesh out, is, as Henry was saying, that revelation, or not revelation, the acceptance of Peter's mutation in saying, I'm both. I love that scene so much, not only because it was so badass, seeing him break the sword apart and basically like Insomniac Spider-Man just like using his ults and like just freaking defeating the hand like it's nothing. What's really important to me in that scene is kind of like what we showed with the damage control, having that, I assume it's like some sort of sonic disruptor that was able to break his webs. Now with his full organic webbing, it's obviously a lot stronger. Tensile strength, stickiness, like all of the properties has just increased to the max. I love how his spider sense is now full on spider sense. We're no longer going to get, the Peter tingle. Like, we evolved from Peter tingle to spider sense. I love that. It is great. It is amazing. The relationship between Punisher and Spider-Man, as I'm sure all of you guys have been seeing the memes, if Iron Man was a father figure, Punisher is now the cool uncle figure or crazy uncle figure to Spider-Man. All the other memes of, it took Daredevil like 2 seasons of 2 different shows to like get Frank to like open up, and Spider-Man did it in 2 hours. Love all those memes too and everything. But I think the more important part, instead of singing its praises, which is easy to do, is to also nitpick on the things, as Henry was saying, that bothered me with the movie. The VMAX one, I did not have an issue with it, only because, and before I continue, let me ask Henry, what did you think the VMAX was going to be?
I believe there was going to be something mutant related, like something else.
But did you have an idea?
Initially, VMAX never even came into fruition in the trailers, so I honestly came into it blind. And when she first said it, I was thinking to myself like, "Oh, is VMAX sounds like a type of prison holding someone, maybe, or maybe something related to the mutants, because she's Jean Grey, so she's probably going to try to do something with that." But then it ends up being about her sister, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. All right, maybe her sister's also a mutant." And then they show off that they're both telepaths. I was like, "Okay." So her sister's probably in a VMAX prison. It just sounds like a prison name to me. Kind of like what is the one that they were all in the
The
ocean?
Raft.
The Raft. Kind of like that, but for mutants specifically. And I was thinking, oh, like she's gonna try to break her sister out and or other people, but it ends up being an AC unit.
Right, but your initial watch,
Mm.
your expectation, I guess, was
Was
just, oh, it's a prison.
high. Yeah, I guess it was too high.
Yeah. So I have no problem with the VMAX reveal because obviously the first time you're watching it, you're trying to figure out, oh, what is it? Is it a prison? Is it maybe a new mutant? Is it something, blah, blah, blah? So the fact that there was nothing to base it on except, oh, this was the last thing her sister saw before she gave that telepathic burst to be like, hey, this is, where I'm at, or like, this is my last word, so to speak. I wasn't disappointed at all because, yeah, I mean, there was no expectation. There is no mutant named VMAX. There is no prison in the comics named V. Like there was nothing to it. It was just, oh, I wonder what it is. So when the payoff came out, I was like, okay, like cool. Like it just adds to the emotional trauma of like, holy crap, this was the last thing she saw before she died. No problem with the VMAX. One of my main issues with this story was one, as you were saying with the other villains that were rumored to be in this movie, which some of them were, they just montaged them. Our previous episodes, we were doing theories of Tombstone. He might be the new Kingpin. It might be a street level movie where we're trying to fill the vacuum of what happened with Daredevil Born Again and the ending of that season. All the other villains too. Granted, Scorpion did get more screen time, but Scorpion, I forgot the name of the other villains in the montage. One of them was like I think like Boomerang Mang or something. The other one, yeah, Arachnid. All these other villains. My issue is that these Spider-Man movies were supposed to make Spider-Man street level again. We were supposed to go with, oh, it's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and everything. And no offense to these actors, but these actors are B-list actors. And with the next movies for Marvel being Doomsday, Secret Wars, etc., these are big universal, multiversal threats. So there's no reason to really get these B-list actors back. Again, no offense to them, but they're B-list. There's no reason to develop the not character development, but to develop the story between Spider-Man and these B-list villains because we montage them over a 4-year period. And there's no reason for Tom Holland's Spider-Man to continue being street level if the next movies are going to be these, Doomsday, Secret Wars, whatever. So to myself, I just feel like, yes, I'm glad we got Spider-Man back. I'm glad he's just, swinging around the streets of New York and he's dealing with the likes of Punisher, even Hulk, right? Now he's kind of like, not in terms of power, but in terms of story, he's now street level, especially seeing him in She-Hulk. He wants to just be a regular guy, regular professor, live his life and everything. But we're not going to get more of that. And I don't think they're going to develop more of street level Spider-Man if they just montage everything, especially doing a time skip of 4 years. And that's my issue. I really wanted to get street level Spider-Man. I really wanted Spider-Man to be focused on, hey, these are my issues. I potentially, based on this movie, have lost MJ. Maybe I get Felicity and we get Black Cat. Maybe I could also get what's her name? Gwen.
By the way,
Felicia. Yeah, I said Felicity. Sorry, Felicia. Thank you. I might get Felicia and we get Black Cat. Maybe I get Gwen Stacy. His version of Gwen Stacy. Like all of these storylines that make him street level. I don't think we're gonna get anymore because you're just montaging over the whole thing. And as much as I love the movie, I don't like the fact that it gave us a taste of what Spider-Man should be, and I don't think we'll get it again. especially with his version of Sinister Six. We didn't even get a reference or an Easter egg of the Vulture. And the post-credit scenes with Michael Keaton's Vulture were a huge thing of, hey, he knew who Spider-Man was, and he was able to universe transfer with the spell Two of Strange. So he could have been one of the only villains to remember, hey, not only do I remember Peter Parker, I remember Peter Parker Spider-Man. So if we're not going to get a Sinister Six storyline, if we're not going to get even a street level like MJ left me, I like you, Felicia Harding, or oh, MJ left me, I love you, Gwen Stacy, or even though technically Ned got with, I don't know if he's still with, but Ned was dating the Betty Brant of that universe, the blonde chick doing the school reports there. There are storylines where Peter does get with Betty Brant from the Daily Bugle, you know? Like, where are these stories going to come from if we're just moving past it and going like, all right, your next appearance is Black Suit Sinister Six, or I'm sorry, Black Suit Secret Wars. So that was my big issue with the movie. The other issue that I had with this movie is I love the Hulk coming back. We all agree, Savage Hulk, let's go, baby. Let's do this. I feel like the ending to the fight was just so convenient. It made me feel kind of like the big issue with Batman vs Superman of why did you say that name? That's how I felt that they pacified the Hulk. It was just like, it's me, Peter, your friend. Like, oh, Peter, like, why did you say that name? You know? Not that the fight was pointless. It was cool. It was awesome. All the memes were saying Punisher realizing in real time he's just a street level hero. But really, like, you couldn't write your way out of, hey, maybe Spider-Man doing or getting his mutation, just like how he beat the crap out of Scorpion. Why couldn't he have another mutation spike and web up the Hulk? You could argue, hey, with his new mutation, his webbing is so strong that he could just hold the Hulk. You know, like just something like that. And it's like, hey, are we ever gonna see Savage Hulk again? Like, is that it? Yeah, I know in Secret Wars we might get, you know, other Hulks, but are we gonna get our what's his name? What's the guy who plays the Hulk? Uh, Mark Ruffalo. Thank you. Are we gonna get Mark Ruffalo be Savage Hulk again? Like, it's these little things where they gave us the taste of what could be, but because of scheduling, because of the storyline, because of where the MCU is going, we're not going to develop on those storylines. We're not going to develop on street level Spider-Man or what ramifications is it going to have on the Hulk. Punisher, we're going to see more of his development because he still has his show coming up too, especially after the Punisher special. What was it? One More Kill? Or One Last Kill?
One last kill.
One Last Kill. So we're going to see the Punisher develop his story, and I'm sure they're going to reference the events of Brand New Day. We're going to see Daredevil develop his story because season 3 of Born Again is confirmed. It's just with Spider-Man, I don't see that development. And that's why I lower Brand New Day the 1 point. Not because the movie was bad, but because it gave us a taste. And we're not going to get more of that taste. I mean, do you guys agree with that assessment? The movie was great. The whole, you know, MJ controlling Mary Jane and saying like, oh, like touch her, like, you know, kiss her, like, you know, you missed that, don't you? Great, you know, freaking twist. Punisher and Spider-Man fighting like, you know, like nephew and uncle, you know, great development. Seeing the CEO of Sex remember Spider-Man at the end with the handshake and everything. Beautiful. I love it all. But that's my issue is that it just gave us a taste of what could be if they develop it. And I don't think they're going to develop it. What do you guys think about the development of street level friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Remind the audience who the CEO of Sex is, just for clarification, because they may not know.
Oh, it's the one and only Ned Leeds. I mean, heck, with this movie, he came out with Sex 2 as well. So we got Sex 2 on the way.
Beware, it's coming out in 2069, though.
Oh wait.
The only thing I'll say is I'll cover that in my take because my take's gonna be pretty long.
Well then, Henry, how do you feel about my rant of we have from the neighborhood Spider-Man that we're not going to develop in the MCU?
I do agree with you on that because I do miss that Sinister Six storyline if they were ever going to do it, and I wanted them to. Although they did confirm they are going to make a Spider Man 5, there is no clue at all what the heck that's going to be about. But I'm pretty sure they're alluding to wanting to bring Miles Morales in the mix. But if that happens, then we won't get much of Peter's Spider Man much anymore. So that's why I fear that that is true, what you said, that we might not get a lot of street level shenanigans anytime soon, at least, for just New York in general. But it's unfortunate. We just got a little taste of it, and it's montaged in this movie, which I thought Tombstone was going to be have more screen presence in this
100%.
movie, but there was just one like little cameo thing. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to see more of that. But yeah, I agree with that. We might not get it anytime soon.
No, especially the actor who played Tombstone. I mean, what an amazing actor. And his role in Black Lightning is just like one of the best things I've ever seen. And
You always allude to that, but
because
yes, he was
was he
entertaining.
not amazing in Black Lightning?
No, he is.
Yeah.
He was entertaining to watch, definitely.
So just seeing a Tombstone in the Spider-Man universe like that.
He apparently voiced Tombstone in the Into the
Across
Spider-Verse.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I was like, oh wow, okay, that's cool.
Really, you didn't recognize his voice?
I not in that moment. No, I was just watching it for the fun of it.
I don't think you watched like a lot of Black Lightning in like that point of time. But yeah, no,
No, but when you showed me that clip, I was laughing my butt off of all the things I've never heard before. Now, those are phrases I cannot unhear.
just keep them in your Rolodex. You might need them later.
I cannot see that in real life.
But yeah, he's such an amazing actor, and
yes,
and credit to all the other people who were in the montage. I'm not sure who they were, in all honesty, but I'm sure they have amazing acting abilities. I'm sure they could play those characters right. But just like with them and with Tombstone, you have these actors who are big plot points in Street Level Spider-Man who were just montaged away. I really hope we get them back in Spider-Man 5. I really hope maybe they do like a pseudo Sinister Six. But with the way things are going in real life, I feel like Spider-Man 5 will just be a passing of the torch with Miles Morales.
I do agree with that, the whole montage thing. Although I think they did, well, for me, I really like this. They made up for it with showing a lot of the moves that we've seen in Insomniac Spider-Man, like the attack scenes, where he would do a lot of the things that you'd play as in the Spider-Man game. And I thought, oh my god, that's pretty cool that they portray that on screen. As well as the swinging scenes were way better, in my opinion, than some of the previous Spider-Man films with Holland in it. I really like the moments where you can hear the air literally whizzing past you, kind of like the little bit of like realism in there when he swings. I love that.
Or the pigeons getting caught at him when he's trying to swing.
Yeah, but just of course, like in the moment in the trailer where he's free falling and you hear the like going past him, and then him just swinging really hard once he gets near to the ground, and just hearing all that wind rush past because he has a lot of momentum going. I love that. I don't know why they didn't do more of that in the previous films, but I feel they did way better with him swinging.
And to your credit, I will admit, not only was that amazing, the realism, but voice activated webbing. That was cool. I will admit that was probably my favorite part of him trying to control his new power.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Like, all right, web, stop, web. Like, I love the quote unquote voice activated webbing. That was just like the best thing.
A little callback to Toby's little training sessions on
in the
the
very beginning.
rooftop.
I really thought he was gonna do like his own phrases too, like Shazam. Yeah, web on. Well, I guess he does do like on off. Yeah,
Up and away, web.
But not only that, but even at the end of the movie, like when he's swinging back MJ, you still hear him
Yeah,
like go like,
he's like
oh,
silently
yeah.
doing it. Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, just I'm glad you agree with me though, Henry, because the montage and everything, even adding the Insomniac Spider-Man moveset and everything, yes, it is cool to see. It is a nice little Easter egg, but I'm scared that's all it's gonna be. Because wouldn't you want to see him do freaking Sony Spider-Man moves against his Sinister Six and not just, oh, he took down Tombstone with, pressing the triangle circle. Like, oh, cool, we saw the triangle circle combo. And then, oh, he took down freaking Boomerang with the square X combo. Oh, cool, he did the square X, but like, that's it. Like, I want to see those combos, just like the fight with the hand with his villains, with his street level Sinister Six. But I mean, that's just me. Doom, I know you're ready for this. How did you like Brand New Day?
Okay.
All right, that's
So
enough for this episode. See you next time.
let me first start by saying this. This movie was complicated for me. So I had to divide my scores. So I have two separate scores. I have a Marvel fan score and I have a critic score. Which one do you guys want to hear first?
All of them.
Marvel fan? Okay. So let me start with my rating. My rating I gave, as a Marvel fan, I gave it 8.7 out of 10. Now let me describe why. Mr. Henry already alluded to it in his argument, so I'll start there. The cameoed villains. That, to me, made me very upset in the theaters. Only because for months now, we've been hearing a lot of rumors about Scorpion. We heard Boomerang. What was that other ones we heard about?
It was like Ram something because it was in the Rhino. It was what's his name? Like, huh?
Hammerhead?
Hammerhead, yeah. Hammerhead
Well,
was
yeah, Hammerhead too, but it wasn't. He wasn't in the montage. It was the
Yeah,
other
he
dude.
was.
Yeah, he was.
No. I'm talking about the other dude who was supposed to be the Rhino, but it's not Rhino. It's another like B-list villain.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
The one who like
don't-
ran through the actual like wall.
That's
Yeah, that's
Hammerhead.
Hammerhead.
Yeah.
That one's Hammerhead.
Was that supposed to be Hammer?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess so.
But there was a plethora of villains that were supposed to appear in this movie, and we got them in cameos. I got to tell you, as a Marvel fan that's been waiting to see this movie for over a year now, I was very disappointed by that. Only because with Doomsday being the next movie, you could have did so much more to beef up these villains. Not to us, because we're Marvel fans. We're gonna watch the movies, the shows, whether they're good or bad. I'm talking about
Secret Invasion.
Get me started with that. Trying to have a good day here. But getting back to my point, so the normies, so like people that are not into the comics, people that maybe have only seen like one or two shows, maybe one or two movies, those are the people I think that suffered the most with this movie, just because you introduce a lot of these villains, correct? And you don't really do anything with them. It's more like teasing. So I think in that aspect, it would have been different if we would have had these characters in previous movies, or we would have had them in, like, let's say, an animated setting. If we would have seen them somewhere, I felt like this movie would have did justice to those characters. But I believe this movie did the opposite for that. So again, going back to Henry's point, if they try to introduce these villains in, let's say, another show, another film, they're not going to have the same legs to stand on as if you were to introduce them in prior movies or prior shows before this one. So I thought the cameos did, I don't want to say Marvel, but it definitely did the fan base a little injustice just by cameoing those villains. So that's one. Before I get into the rest of my point, I want to ask you guys a question. And I'm being serious when I ask this. And this is no shot at Zendaya. But I this is strictly guy talk, so I want to ask these guys: is this the best Zendaya has looked in a Spider-Man movie?
What do you mean?
Like is this
Physically
yeah,
appealing.
physical appearance? Is this the best she's looked in all?
She looks the same.
No. She does not look the same.
Well, what do you mean?
So I'm saying appearance wise, appearance, the way she dresses, the way makeup.
Okay, to
all
give
of
Henry some time to think,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before. Zendaya is, or let me rephrase, I personally think that Zendaya is pretty. I I want to say beautiful, even though to myself I don't think she hits that level. But just for a objective, general consensus, Zendaya is beautiful, but other than that, I personally cannot see her, like how you were saying with Guy Talk, as, oh my gosh, she's, the next, model, or, she should be on the runway, or she's, smoking hot and just, some lust or some, what's the other way of saying it? I'm just gonna go with lust. I know there's a better word for it, but I've never seen Zendaya as a woman to lust over. Yeah, she is very attractive, and I'll just say beautiful. She's beautiful, but she's more just like a doll, like kind of like, you went to the America Girl store, right? Like those high end expensive dolls. Yeah, they're so beautifully well made, smooth skin and whatever. But I've never saw her as this like Looney Tunes, like, the cartoon wolf just pounding on the table, like, woo, it's just, she was never lustful to me. So to answer your question, even in other movies like in The Odyssey or in Dune, she's always looked like the same, American Girl doll to me. But again, that's because I just personally do not find her so lustful. And there's a word, I cannot think of the word, and because of my lack of lust and such sex appeal, I guess, she's just always looked like this American Girl doll. So again, for you, Doom, to me, she's always looked the same. Not that she's looked uglier, she's just has been the same pretty doll, for lack of a better term, trophy wife, right? Like, oh, she's, a trophy wife, but that's it. Like, other than some sort of display model, I've never found her desirable and, head over heels, just like, again, Looney Tunes cartoon wolf. Like, all right, let's go. Hopefully that bought you enough time, Henry, for
Yeah.
your answer. Yeah.
I do find her beautiful, but out of respect for her and Tom's marriage, I would not go any further than that. But I do agree with
Yeah,
my
because
earlier
you and
statement.
Tom are such good friends.
No, I mean they're
Yeah, we're
they're
gonna
pretty
tell
good
Tom.
together. So I'm like, I want their relationship to be healthy and fruitful. But
Yeah, but we're asking for your opinion
but
on her.
no, like how I seen before with her being in what was it? Odyssey, with all the Spider-Man films with Tom, with Euphoria even, to me she looks not really that different. So I don't really have a strong opinion on her beauty, like if it evolved or if she became, uglier or hotter. She looks beautiful in general. Like I don't really have a big opinion on her like that, I guess I could say.
Okay. The only reason I bring that up is because I am in agreement with both of these guys. Where like I think Zendaya is a beautiful girl. Maybe not as beautiful as physical attraction because I have a different type, but that's no shot at her. She's a beautiful girl,
Indeed, no.
just not my type. But I have to admit, in this movie, she's probably looked the best I've ever seen her. And that's in any film, any show. She looked very different. So kudos to whoever did her makeup, her outfits. Hell of a job. Hell of a job because she's looked the best I've ever seen her. And again, this is not a diss towards her. I'm not beating her down. I'm literally just complimenting her appearance. That's it. So back to Spider-Man. So, like I said, I did not like the cameos with the villains, but as far as with Jean Grey, so I feel that Marvel repeated the same mistake they repeated with WandaVision in this movie. So I've noticed with very strong female characters. So with WandaVision, it was the Scarlet Witch. This one, Jean Grey. I don't like them being villains. And I just think by making them villains, it's kind of like a cop out. Because you want them in the movie, you want to see them at their best. I just don't think a villain role is the way to do it. And people, like I said, not us, but like normies, people that don't really watch the shows or the movies like we do. I just think it's confusing. It's confusing for the normies because how do you rank all of these people that you're trying to market, but we can barely get them on the screen or we can barely get anything about them. So that's a big red flag that I had on the movie, which did weigh into my final score. So that's a few of the critiques that I can go. Like I said, I could spend like a whole day on here just critiquing, but those were the biggest ones that I saw as a person that loves movies and loves going to the theaters. So those are the biggest red flags I've seen. Now back to my critic score.
Oh, real quick,
Yeah.
Corleo. Do you feel that they introduced her too hard on as a villain? Would you say? Okay, I didn't mean it that way, but I didn't mean it that way. But I have a similar view than what you're saying right now.
You
You
Because
said villain.
yeah, no, but do you feel they came on too strong as a villain for Jean Grey?
Yes.
Because I also felt the same way.
Yes. It was, like I said, it was confusing at first for me because, again, I hate to bring up X-Men 97 because someone here hasn't seen any of the episodes. But, anyways, I did find out through this new X-Men season, again, spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't seen the season, but we are introduced to Jean Grey's sister in the show. It's not Sarah, the one that's shown in the movie. For those that have seen the show, you'll understand who I'm talking about. But I thought Sarah was her. It turns out that's a completely different character. And I believe in the comics, she doesn't even really have a backstory like that. It's more like a one-off thing. So that's interesting that they introduced Sarah. But again, I want to learn more about her because according to the movie, she's supposed to be a lot more powerful. She got her powers before Jean Grey. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about her and about what really happened in that VMAX room. Since it was kind of left up to opinion rather than for it to be seen on screen. What's another? There's something else that weighed heavily. Guys, I have to ask you. The post-credit scene.
It was killing me not remembering eroticism. Erotic.
You said that. I know that. Chris, I did say that.
No, because you did say erotic.
Yeah.
But I was like, that wasn't the word I was focused on. Eroticism. Like that's what. Because when I was thinking erotic, I was thinking more like strippers, you know. But like I was trying to go for the desire instead of what she is, you know. But yeah, that was killing me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you guys about this post-credit scene because it was very confusing for me. I did speak about it to a friend of the show, J Spot.
Woo, J
Yeah,
Spot.
shout out J Spot.
Shout out to J Spot.
So me and him were discussing that post-credit scene, and it was very confusing for both of us. So let me start by asking you, Mr. Henry. And I want to say spoiler warning again to anybody that hasn't seen the movie. This is the post-credit scene that we're discussing. So, Mr. Henry, what is going on in that post-credit scene?
So, we see into Ned Leeds' Spidey tracker. It gets a notification of a new Spidey tracking that was reported, but it goes off into space and it glitches out. It pops up just randomly in some speck of space that the Spidey sighting is. to me, and this is going to be mine, and I feel I have enough evidence to support it, it's possibly Toby's universe popping up as an incursion and possibly going to be leading into Doomsday. The reason why I say that is because during the glitch, there was a reported sighting, and I can go back and always read frame to frame. There was a sighting of a series of numbers that lead to the number universe that Toby's is. So I want to believe that that is basically Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's universe popping up as a contender for Doomsday. That's where I feel that is happening.
Okay, let's ask you now, Mr. Lex. What do you think is going on in that post-credit scene?
No, 100% I agree with Henry over here. I really do feel like it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man encouraging or whatever, being an incursion to the 616 universe. I know a lot of people can rightfully speculate that it's also Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but I just feel like it's Tobey, one, because, Tobey will always be my Spider-Man, but two, because of all of the rumors of, oh, it's going to be Tobey versus the X-Men. Oh, it's going to be Tobey versus Wolverine. Oh, Tobey's going to be killed off in Doomsday. So just because there's more hype and traction, I feel like it's Tobey's over Andrew Garfield's. However, it could be Garfield's too. Now, that is my personal belief. There's also some. This isn't more rumors. This is more kind of like coming from memes. So I guess social commentary. There's also some social commentary, but that it could be a Spider-Man variant from Sony's universe of Venom, of Morbius, of Kraven the Hunter, that we're gonna get the Madam Web Spider Women of the Sonyverse. Again, that one isn't credible. That's more like memes. But we're gonna do like the Madam Web Spider Women coming to the MCU, and that was the Madam Web crew. Doom, you seem to love that idea of getting Morbius and Kraven and all these people. How do you respond to the Madam Web coming over?
Let me just start by saying, if that is the plan, I'm going to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge right now. I'm totally off. If that is really what they're doing, that's blasphemy at its finest. But I want to hear what Mr. Henry has to say.
Just for clarification, Tobey Maguire's universe's number is 96283. So that were the numbers that supposedly came from the glitched part of when the Spidey tracker goes from it going from Earth to the space. So if I'm going to try to capture that frame again and see if I can possibly put it up on the screen. So that's where I feel that this is probably going to be Toby's universe. Because, I mean, we've already discussed it in previous episodes. His universe might come into fruition to go against the X-Men's universe. So I feel like they're trying to connect both Brand New Day and as well as the Encore of Endgame. Both are going to collect to the beginning of Doomsday. So that's where I feel that comes into fruition.
Okay, so I have a few questions to ask you guys then about the post-credit scene, because I have a different take on what you guys have. So we know from the movie that the Spidey Tracker app, someone has to physically pinpoint his location, correct?
Yeah, like someone sees, oh, Spider-Man swung by like 5th Street and Avenue, and then they say he was here.
Okay, so if we're taking that logic, then my question is, who is on that app and who is able to pinpoint his location in space?
Black Widow. Because she's already having a relationship with Spider-Man. Why not just download the Spidey Tracker app? And clearly we see that her and the new Avengers have the technology to look out into space, like how we saw with the Fantastic Four
That's
ship.
possible. I mean, I can see that and possibly her using that to alert MCU Peter that, hey, there's another variant of you somewhere that we see. You want to come over here and check it out, kind of deal.
I don't know about alert because I don't think she's like up to speed with incursions. But at least to be like, hey, like I saw you in deep space. Like, are you okay, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just a tangent, the Spidey Tracker is also an Insomniac Spider-Man, so that's another thing too.
In the games, because I've only played the first one.
Mm.
In the games, are you able to do that from space though?
Well, it wasn't put out that way because, like in the movie, people have to put the posting themselves. It's like its own social media app type of thing.
So that's my exact point. That's where my confusion comes in because you're saying it's Yelena, which
I'm saying that it's either Yelena, and I said her first because it's the most, for lack of a better word, it's the most like logical person because she has the resources and technology and the relationship. I also would say that it could be Miss Marvel because she's a huge fan of Spider-Man in, canon and also in other iterations too. I mean, kind of like how you mentioned the Avengers video game and in other shows as well. So she is one, a fan of Spider-Man. Two, especially with her dad, knowing, oh, she's a superhero. We saw her dad make the appearance in Daredevil
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So like the dad is also in the superhero scene as well and everything. It would just make sense that, okay, she likes Spider-Man. She is a young kid. So of course she would be into her phone and the apps and everything. And we saw that because of her powers and her attachment with the Marvels, the movie, why couldn't she be in space as well? So those are my two. Those are my two in canon logical choices. That it's either Yelena because again her relationship and the technology, or two, Miss Marvel because she's into Spider-Man. She's young enough to be on social media and have the spider tracker, and her powers to an extent do allow her to have the like, not that she can, I don't know, psychically see into space, but she's been in space before. Like, why can't her and Captain Marvel be patrolling and, oh, hey, look, Spider-Man,
Or this could be another wild guess, but anyone from the Spider-Verse in general, like anyone from the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales movies.
that makes more sense to me.
Okay, so
that could be
100%.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
my issue with that is this: how do they have our Spidey tracker?
That was the next question I was.
That's why I'm saying, like, in universe, like, whoever the spider person is, that one is ambiguous. I don't mind it being the Across the Spider-Verse or Beyond. That's the new one. I don't mind it being any of the Beyond the Spider-Verse characters. I don't mind it being, or I shouldn't say I don't mind. I can potentially see it being one of the Sony Spider-Verse characters, like unfortunately Madam Web. I can see it being Toby or Andrew Garfield. So whoever the spider person is, that one isn't the issue for me. It's more to answer Doom's question, because his question is more the, hey, how does this make sense? Like, because like you said, someone has to have seen it. Someone has to have the app, know about the app. Someone has to ping it. So the only person that, or the only two people I can think of top of my head right now is Jelena or Miss Marvel. And obviously, one because she has the technology and whatever, and the other one because she's a kid. Like, she obviously is going to be on the social media apps and everything. I was even going to say possibly, I can't believe I forgot her name already. What was her name? Shuri. There we go. Black Panther's sister. I was even going to say possibly Shuri, but I don't think she has enough of a relationship with Spider-Man, nor do I think she cares enough to be on the Spidey tracker social media to ping it. That's why I'm going with Yelena or Miss Marvel.
Well, another one could be Gwen Stacy herself, because she is trying to find Miles as well, but she ends up, well, since they have to jump universes in order to get to the right Miles, she ends up stumbling upon this conflict. Or, I mean, because I believe the Spidey tracker is existent in the Spider-Verse movies. as well, because I think Miles's roommate kind of helps with that, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I don't remember them
That
having
could
the
be a stretch,
Spidey
but
track.
I believe, I mean, and there's a whole bunch of Spideys. They could have a spider tracker somewhere in there.
Right. So
Yeah.
the thing, I'm assuming, I don't want to speak for you, but the thing for Doom is he's talking about an in-universe
Mhm.
reason for it. So it has to be someone in our universe who knows the Spidey tracker, who knows Ned's Spidey tracker, who knows Ned's, the App Store has it downloaded and whatever.
I mean, as we're discussing this, I actually think that this post-credit scene is a spiff. Meaning, like, the way we're discussing it, I don't actually think that's how it's going to come about. I actually think it's very. It doesn't really. It doesn't tell us anything, basically. But do you guys remember in the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie? I know this was a while ago, but do you guys remember Groot? And in that movie, he has a little game that he's playing. Could it be possible that the Guardians of the Galaxy probably were called? And the Groot is playing a game, and it just happens to be the Spider Tracker app.
That's
It
a
would be
stretch.
funny if
That's a
like
stretch.
Groot,
Because
not
I
being
really
fully
think this
developed.
post credit scene doesn't mean anything. I just think I'm trying to find a way.
Okay, in all
I'm still
seriousness,
firm with the Toby thing, though.
okay,
I'm firm with that.
in all seriousness, the post-credit scene, right? If we're trying to follow the logic behind it, of like, okay, it has to be someone in this universe, it has to be someone who knows Ned's app, blah blah blah. I honestly think it's all BS. I think that is reading too much into it. I feel like the point of the post-credit scene was just to say it's Toby, because I believe it's Toby. That is my answer. Gun to my head, it's Toby coming out. Yes, there has to be some in-universe logic to it, which is why I'm coming up with, okay, Yelena or Miss Marvel. I think that's just reading too much into it. I think that is just being way too nitpicky because, yes, technically there should be someone out in space. Yes, that person out in space should have seen a spider person. Yes, that spider person should have said, oh, he's here in space section 123 FYZ. Yes, all of that has to happen logically. I just think that post credit scene was just like, okay, don't be a nerd. Like, don't read into it. Just know that Toby is coming out. Like, that's it. Even though you are right. Logically, there had to have been someone in that section of space who saw, who posted, who pinged, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like that's getting way too nerdy. But I do agree with Henry, though. I feel like it is Toby's. Even though it could be any spider person, I think it's Toby's. Just you and J Spot, I think, rightfully so, but I think you guys were being a little too technical with it.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Kind of
Henry,
like,
do you feel like it's being a little too technical trying to?
yeah, kind of like how I thought the whole time. I'm like, how is Peter getting the funds to buy those flowers all the dang time for Aunt May when we don't see him working in the Daily Bugle? That was a little nitpick that
How
I
does he
had
afford an
to.
apartment then?
I know, that's why I'm like, where does he work? Or is he getting donations from the precinct maybe when he's doing these, like, these jobs for the cops?
I don't think so because
We don't see him working.
they have to put a name to that money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that was the thing I was kind of reading into it. I'm like, I know it's a movie, just, ignore it. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, how does he keep, like, affording all this? Like, yeah, I know the whole Little Caesars thing. Little Caesars always been with you because, they're very cheap pizza, but they're very good as well.
Well, one of the theories that people were saying, and again, we're being really nitpicking,
Nitpicky. I
technical,
know.
was that before Civil War, he was obviously doing his own thing,
Mhm.
If you remember correctly, one of the jokes that Tony Stark tells him is, oh, you're a dumpster diver, right? You guys remember? Is it? So one of the things that people were saying is that he's still obviously dumpster diving and he sells and or fixes and or does things on the side. Like he's basically like a B-list geek squad from Best Buy. That's how he's making money. Like he's like, Spidey Squad or Geek Spidey, where he's like, hey, do you know anyone who needs a computer fix? Like, oh, I got it. Or like, oh, hey, your phone wasn't working. Oh, I could repair it for or whatever. So that's in canon reason that I could see how he could make some side money, like hustling. like that.
All right. I want to finish up my review of Brand New Day, and then
Before you go forward, anything else with the post credit scene? Because I just want to make sure we get that, answer too. Because I personally feel it's just don't be a nerd, don't look into it. It's Toby coming through. Henry, how do you feel before we ask Doom if he has any other questions?
About the post-credit scene?
Yeah, like your interpretation of it.
I wholeheartedly believe it's the universe of Toby's just popping up, getting ready for Doomsday. I've doubled down on it like I don't know how many times, but I'm like, yeah, that's Toby right there.
But no, like reading more into it, it's just surface level, like
I
it's
didn't,
Toby.
although when I recalled how the Insomniac's version of the Spidey Tracker works, you have to post it from your profile or whatever. But to me, I'm just like, oh, like I'm not gonna read too much into it. It's gonna happen.
okay, so just to finish up my point, like I said, I think it either is something nonsensical, like Groot playing with his little Game Boy and him pinging somewhere completely random. I think it could be that. Or it could be Marvel's way of telling us where Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in Secret Wars. So that could be that as well. Again, these are just guesses. We don't know the answers. We're just making educated guesses here. So that would be that. And I'm done with the post-credit scene stuff. I kind of just want to finish my review for Spider-Man really quick. So I've already talked about my score as a Marvel fan, which is 8.7 out of 10. And so with the critic score, I did want to mention one more thing before I give you guys my score as a critic. So where I divided the scores was this part that I'm about to talk about. So um, I'm going back to the scene where MJ is having that conversation, that heart to heart with Peter, where she's telling him, the famous quote, "I don't love you, like I don't know who you are," type thing.
The famous quote, like that's gonna go down in like history.
It might. It
I'm
might.
the king of the world next to I don't love you.
Okay, so I just want to say that the reason I divided up these scores like that, I usually don't do this, by the way, but the reason I did it with this movie is because Spider-Man actually hit me in a very weak point in my spirit, just because rewatching that scene with MJ and Peter, it just got me thinking a lot about uh like if you really love somebody the way Peter loves MJ, right? And you are willing to be vulnerable for her in that moment and you get that response. I'm just saying that as a man, not every man can take that the way Peter took it. And I think he took it with grace. Just because I know a lot of people that would have reacted very differently, me included. And it taught me a lot about patience and a lot about if you really love somebody the way Peter loves MJ, you would not only sacrifice like I know this sounds bad, but like you would. He saw that his girl and his friend they were pretty much better without him, and he made the tough decision of I'm gonna let them be the best versions of themselves, and I'll just try to live my life the best I can. And I got to say that's very relatable for a man, especially in today's age. So I really want to commend Destin Daniel Cretton for that. It definitely, like I said, it definitely hit my spirit just watching that, and it taught me just a lot about life, really, in that instance. So that's where I couldn't factor this part into my actual score, just because, like I said, when I grade movies, I try to take emotion out of it. I try to be fair to the movie and how it's constructed. And I felt like the way this movie hit me, I just was not able to. I was not able to put those two scores together, so I had to separate them. So definitely, like I said, this movie hit me in a different place, and it will definitely stay with me. the lessons that I learned from it. So that's why I had to divide the two scores. So as a fan, like I said, I do have my critiques, but as a movie lover, this is definitely, I would say, in my top 20 of my favorite movies of all time. So just for that reason. So I got to commend everyone who was involved with this project for that. So before we get out of here, we do want to talk about one more thing, and which was Avengers Endgame Encore, which the Russo brothers have said that they're going to add 7 extra minutes of footage to the upcoming re-release of Avengers Endgame. And from what we have gathered, the new 7 minutes is going to entail a new post-credit scene, as well a new post-credit scene and some additional scenes. So it was unclear what scenes there were going to be, but for sure we're going to get a new post-credit scene. So I want to start by asking Mr. Henry Castle over here. First, what do you think about the announcement of this new re-release, and how do you think it'll fit into Doomsday?
I think it's just their excuse for us to go refresh our memory on what happens before Doomsday happens, so that we can obviously go, see our most favorite movie back of COVID age, what happens, and also another excuse for us to go see basically a little teaser of what's to come for Doomsday. For me, what I'm guessing they're gonna put, I'm assuming it's gonna have to do with some footage, possibly of either Loki, just introducing what his development occurs in Loki season 2, with him holding time, the little cords of time down, as well as possibly showing Latveria. Maybe. I mean, it's entirely possible. I would love to see, Doom in his home world at least, just to show off where he comes from, at least show his beginnings, maybe? Or just like a little bit of a teaser of what he's doing to prepare for Doomsday, as well as possibly assembling the witches, as we've seen in some of the still shots from Comic Con. I don't really know what else to think of it, so I'd probably have to just wait and see until it comes out in September.
Let's get your thoughts, Mr. Lex. What do you think about the re-release of Avengers Endgame Encore, and how do you think it relates to Doomsday?
I also feel like this is a way for people to refresh their memories. I don't think that's the intention, like Henry was saying. I feel like the big intention for this, well, I mean, aside from, making some more money on the side, but the big intention for this is, hey, we're retconning a whole phase that we try to set up. Two. We're retconning 2 whole phases that we're trying to set up. Thank you, Doom. So because we screwed up, here's 7 extra minutes on how we're retconning it. All right, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Yeah, So I do feel like that's the main intention of it, just being like, hey, we screwed up. We're doing Doomsday. We've already released X amount of information on it. You guys basically know the story. The point is just to show you this is just the bridge. Like, this is why we need these 7 extra minutes. So you can be like, whether it's Henry's theory of focusing on Loki and him holding, the sacred timeline together, whether it's maybe showing Doom and Latveria, whether it's maybe the Avengers, maybe seeing an incursion like in the sky themselves. I'm not sure how it's going to tie Endgame and Doomsday. I just feel like it's gonna just do something where, hey, I don't know, what was a movie that just came after Endgame? Like Quantumania, like, oh hey, Quantumania, like, hey, Scott Lang, hold your horses. There's a tear in the sky. Like, we don't need to do Quantumania anymore because that's a threat. Or I don't know, technically Shang-Chi's in the movie. We can retcon that. I don't know. What's another movie that we could kind of retcon? I don't know, like She-Hulk, you know, like no, that one we love. We want Secret Invasion. Actually, I feel like Secret Invasion should be the 7 minutes of Endgame, and
Gaia.
exactly like if it's not Gaia going like, "Hey, I brought some friends. Her name's Madam Web," and the Sonyverse comes in, we don't need those 7 minutes.
So you're saying it's really Gaia behind the Doom mask?
It's Gaia brings Morbius and Craven over.
Exactly. It's gonna be Gaia saying like, "Oh, I'm craving some Morbin time," and it's just them coming out behind her. But yeah, that's how I feel about this. Obviously, I think we're all gonna watch it because one, just rewatching Endgame is cool enough, but two, rewatching the bridging of Endgame and Doom is gonna be interesting. But yeah, like that's just me. Like these 7 minutes, whether it is incursions, whether it's Loki, whether it's showing Doom, I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's just gonna show, hey, this is the priority. Like Scott Lang, you stayed here because we need to do this. Or She-Hulk, like forget twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. Like we need to do this. Like it's a soft retcon of these events did not happen because this event happened or Doom happened or the incursion happened. So we got to take care of this. Doom, how do you feel?
Let me tell you guys exactly how I feel. So, first of all, let me just say I agree with your guys' sentiments that this is just a ploy for Marvel to make more money. Of course, that's why every studio makes movies to make more money. So,
George Lucas did it for the passion, bro, for the story, not for the money.
then why'd he sell it?
Because it's a lot of money.
Okay, so let me give you my take on what I think is going on here in Avengers Endgame. Again, I want to reiterate, I do agree with their sentiments, but I think there's something we are missing here. One thing that is not talked about, and it has not been talked about since RDJ, well, been rarely talked about since RDJ's been casted as Doctor Doom. What is the relation between Tony Stark's Iron Man and RDJ's Doctor Doom? Are they the same? Are they variants? What's going on there? I think in the re-release, we're going to get that answer. And how we're going to get that answer? Have any of you guys seen any of the not post-credit scenes, but deleted scenes for Avengers Endgame?
Well, which ones? 'Cause
Can't-
there's a lot.
I
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
There's a very specific one where after Tony, he snaps Thanos out of existence, he goes to the soul world and he talks to his daughter Morgan.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think with the 7 minutes extra footage, I think after Tony snaps Thanos out of existence, we go back to that soul world scene, except this time it's not Morgan. It might be Doom himself. Where Tony, he's thought that he's saved the world, he's on top, and he's feeling a high, and then he meets Doom, and Doom has to break the bad news to him that you're not Tony Stark, you're not Iron Man, you're my variant. And I think because of that conversation, I'm not saying that RDJ's Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom. I think that we get the answer, though, in that scene. So I think that'll be one of the scenes that we get. That's part of the 7 minutes. I think another one we will get is I think we will get a semi answer of what Steve did after he returned the stones. Because I think everybody wants to know.
Oh, we know what Steve did after he returned the stones.
He got busy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has a kid, so he had to.
No, he definitely got
Yeah.
busy.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to know what happened on that journey because guys, it is not that simple to just return those stones. Like I've seen countless people's breakdowns of how difficult. Like, explain to me how you return the Soul Stone. Please tell me how you return that.
Oh shoot,
Exactly.
Red Skull. Hey, well, I gotta go bang Peggy, so here you go. Bye.
How do you return the Tesseract? I'm not talking about the one that they lost that created our Loki, the one that's
That's the
God
one
of
where we
Stories.
agree where Captain America did screw up and cause incursion.
How do you return that Tesseract in a military base? You know, in the 70s. Do you know how impossible that's going to, especially like, because you can't be seen. People know who you are because you went down in the ice. So that, I want to know how the hell he returned that Tesseract. What's another stone?
Well, remember, he didn't even have a Tesseract. He just had the Space Stone.
So that's even a bigger problem. That's a bigger problem. So I need to see how he did that. Another thing I want to see. Okay, so they never showed this in Infinity War. But how did Thanos get the Power Stone? Yes, they said he decimated not Vormir.
No.
Xandar?
Xandar.
Xandar, yeah. Well, he just conquered.
Yeah.
He has the
apparently.
forces.
No, but he blew it up. Didn't he say that he blew
Okay,
it up?
fine,
Yeah.
he blew it up, but either
Yeah.
way, he has the firepower. It's not like he didn't have the firepower. And remember, he had his 4 freaking children of Thanos with him, so
Yeah.
he easily could have freaking taken over the Nova Corps.
That's my point. You're asking one man to return one of the most powerful stones by himself, and with Thanos, it took him a whole team.
Well, it took him a team to not kidnap the stone, to steal the stone or to take the stone. He's not taking it, he's just putting it back.
Either way, it's still going to be hard putting that stone back. That was my point.
Why? Some of them are pretty easy. He just
Some of them,
teleports
yes. Some
and
of
just
them,
goes
yes.
there.
No, I agree with that. So some of them, yes, they're very easy to put back. But like the Soul Stone, the what is it? Not the Tesseract when it's the little
The
Space
Stone?
Stone, yes. I have to know how he returned those. So I hope we get somewhat of an answer, or somebody in dialogue says something about it. But I have to know how he did that. So those are my biggest questions I want answered in Encore. But do you guys have anything else to add?
I feel like questions like those, it's going to be kind of like your Spidey tracker, or it's going to be kind of like in Brand New Day when Professor Hulk he's no longer Professor Hulk, when Bruce Banner is doing his lecture, and then the one chick goes like, hey, if Thanos was so worried about overpopulation, why didn't he just double the food? And Banner just goes, and everyone in the class is like, raw, and then they just like brush past.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like those questions are just going to be brushed past because they're obvious. Like, yeah, why didn't he just double the resources?
By the way, that was Cindy Moon that asked the question.
Oh, it was Cindy Moon,
It
huh?
was Cindy Moon.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been in since the first movie, Homecoming.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Cindy Moon. Just the point is that is a huge question, and the writers know it's a huge question, so their answer is just raw. So yeah, I think the thing with the Tesseract and the Soul Stone is just going to be like, "Hey, Steve, how did you do it?" Roar, and that's it.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, old man Steve.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to our episode now of the Lore Room Pod. We appreciate every single one of you guys that is listening as well as watching us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts. And we want to tell you guys to please leave us some comments down below. We want to hear what you guys want us to put out, what you guys might want us to talk about, anything that we haven't discussed on the show. Please let us know. Our handles are right above our heads. So please give each of these guys a follow, as well as follow us on IG. We also have an X account as well. We are also working on a TikTok, all at the Lore Room Pod. So we want to thank you guys again for tuning in with us. I am Doom Corleone, Lex with Lex, and too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
We will catch you guys on the next episode. And like I always say, we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Ciao.
Later, lore whores.
Bye bye.